Great, thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. Welcome to the Economic Development Committee. Would everybody please stand for a Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll start the meeting at 6:34. All right, let's call it to order. Let's see, pledge is done. We will not have public input until at least 6:45, and we have two now, in case people in the audience, after they do their public, they might see the meeting go on and want another public input session. All right, so let's get down to business. First is the approval of the minutes from September 24th, 2025. So, did everyone have a chance to look at them? First of all, did we settle the quorum thing? I thought we needed 3. Let me go look. Is anybody in the website now? Let me just go to the town government. Let's see, Economic Committee, our bylaws will be there. Sorry, everybody's learning with us here. We usually have a committee. Are you in there, Peter, at all?
I am, but I don't.
Are they in our bylaws in there? If you go to Economic Development, let me just take a look if they're there. Need registration, survey, zoning map. Well, I will, let's see. Well, I do believe we just need 3. Does anybody have any? We can vote, and if it's not valid, then I just don't see our bylaw here to know.
Yeah, I don't see where the bylaws are.
They will probably be at the beginning of the year on one of the other committees as well. You know how we always look at them at the beginning of the year. Let me just check a different portal here in January. We did our survey then. What do you want to do? You want to just go and then we'll vote, and then if it's fine, then we'll go forward. Why don't we'll vote, right? We have 3. And if we're missing it, we'll have to do another revote, but at least let's go through the reports anyway.
Okay.
All right, so in the portal now, for anybody joining, is the old report that we went over last month. I marked it up, you can see it there, and made the changes. Our town admin has been out and working. First, she was working on budget for a couple of weeks. Barely saw her, and then she's at a conference, so she could not upload the newest version that we're reviewing tonight. But when she gets back tomorrow, I will, or worst case, the next day, I will have her upload it so people can see what we're doing. All right. So, and then you can also compare the old to the new if they feel like that. So, why don't we get back to where we are? So we're at the approval of the minutes. Assuming we have a quorum, I do believe it's 3, but assuming we do, yeah.
I was in
I know you were abstaining, but that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
I did.
I did. Did you have any edits?
I did not.
I just had one on the last paragraph for me. It just looks like some sentences wrapped a bit. Apparently I was talking about NRPC and the state about working more together for water issues and energy. If you could just fix the wrapping, but that was it for me. It looked okay. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess I would entertain a motion if...
So moved.
All right. We have a motion to approve the September 24th minutes. I will second that. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No?
I'll abstain.
Abstain. All right. 201. All right. And... Peter, Clancy, and Kim. All right, while we're doing that, at the moment, Jeremy, for those at home, Jeremy Robitaille will not be coming tonight. Marion Colby is not coming tonight, but she did email in what she thought about the new report, which I'll read later. Kim Kleiner, our town administrator, not here. Peter Ames from Rec, and also Jason Brennan are missing, but sometimes they do come in with work schedule. All right. Okay, so back to it. All right, so Economic Development Committee final report, verifying the requested edits from September 24th were applied. So also what I'll upload if they want is the worksheet of me making the changes. I'm not sure if we need that, but you have the spreadsheet of the changes there? Okay. Everybody has a spreadsheet that I emailed everyone? Okay, so I'll just read through it. So you want to look at the old and the new report next to each other, or you just want to look at the new one and I can tell you what I did to change it? Would that be easier? Or do you want to look at both? Well, first of all,
I'm happy to do either way, but for me,
Okay.
it's probably easier to just look at the.
yeah, look at the
current one.
screen, and I'll explain to you what you're seeing, okay?
Okay.
And then we can always go back to that. I changed, so first of all, for all, I changed the background to get more real estate on the screen. So it's a light blue now with a little bar at the bottom. It used to look pretty chunky, and we just didn't have enough real estate here. And the page numbers were kind of coming on and off. The PowerPoint is larger, but I will be uploading the PDF version, so you will actually see that with no truncation, so the PDF, for security reasons, goes up. So if you look at that, I changed the date on the bottom to say October 29th, added the date at the bottom left, okay? You have the one in that I emailed you from the 27th when I sent that to you. So we're just trying to get more real estate and make it look a little better there. All right, next. It was asked that we added a report section on page 2 because we didn't have this. So we took it from a point of view, and I should know this, know your audience and pretend if they didn't participate in the meeting, how would they be looking at this report, right? So we kind of stepped back, and it was a very good idea to put these sections in. So we added report sections. It's almost a table of contents. So you can see, where we're going. We're going to thank our committees, the introduction, our mission, key research, why we were trying to fulfill that mission, our initial findings. Then we made recommendations by town board. Some will go to the planning board, some will go to the Board of Selectmen. We had future considerations also, and then we went back and we cross-referenced our fulfilled tasks to the mission, so we could make sure that we did everything that way. The appendix items will be up on the portal with this. Page 3. While we're zooming over here. What I did here is I fixed the zebra striping on page 3. There was a mistake on town residents before, because we really did reach out twice. We had the survey where the whole town did come in and help, when they filled out all the surveys and voting and all of that. And then we also had a focus group. So before they were both highlighted in one color, I just changed it to
I'm sorry, which page are you on?
page 3. Are you on the modern one that looks
I'm
like?
on the, mine says thank you to our committee members and
Yeah.
residents.
Yep.
okay,
So the zebra
okay.
striping is like, and say it's going every other color.
Oh, yeah.
We can see conservation had 2. We actually had Harry, but maybe I did not. I don't know if he came in. Yeah, and then we had zoning. We had started with Jerry, and then you came in, right? Yep, and we had Marion and Connie in, right? Okay, so the town residents were both like the same color, so I just split it up. All right, page 4. We added an introduction statement, again, trying to talk about that. So, Turk 2023, the Circumventual Highway Project, I don't have to read this all, but I might read just this one page because we did not have this page before, if that's okay. In 2023, the town of Litchfield was informed that the Circumventual Highway Project was canceled on the New Hampshire Department of Transportation plan. Do you remember that meeting, Jay? Because I do. Which I came back to the Board of Selectmen quick. All right, the project had an estimated start date of the early to mid-2000s. So having anticipated the Circumventual Highway Project was going to occur in 2002, the town of Litchfield created an economic strategy that incorporated the Circumventual Highway Project in it. That economic strategy can be found in the Chapter 6 Economic Development Master Plan 2002. With the Circumventual Highway Project now being canceled, the Board of Selectmen formed an Economic Development Committee to research and propose a new economic strategy for the town. The Economic Development Committee followed and fulfilled 5 charges set by the Board of Selectmen, and a new economic strategy was created. This report shows the Board of Selectmen's 5 charges, followed by the Economic Development Committee's key research, findings, recommendations, and future considerations. Are we okay with that? All right, so again, we had north and south. Part of town was our economic development strategy for years with the Circumventual Highway. Now that's gone. What do we do now? Okay, so this is the steps that we took. All right, page 5. So this is the charged by the Board of Selectmen. So the Economic Development Committee mission, we were charged by the Board of Selectmen to do these 5 items taken off of our website. So the 5 items were to create an economic survey and data collection model that will actually reflect the feedback and desires of all the townspeople. Charge number 2, establish recommendations to the Planning Board and Board of Selectmen on updates, changes to Chapter 6, Economic Development, that was dated December 3rd, 2002 of the master plan. So we have to make recommendations to change that. Advise the Select Board and other town boards on issues concerning bylaws, policies, regulations, and zoning that are consistent with maintaining the character of our community, consistent with the master plan and the desires of the townspeople. Advocate, and that's number 3. Number 4, advocate for state and federal grants, incentives, or for improvement in regulations that help advance the town's priorities. And number 5, make recommendations to streamline permitting, licensing, and other regulatory functions. I'm going to pause here for a moment. So now that I see you taking all those notes, I'm just going to give you the report. I should have done that anyway, right? That would help, right? Do you want a copy now? Or, okay. I'll make a note of that because this is a long meeting. So that was the charge set back in, I believe, 2023. I think we actually started like July. We got the charge and we started from there.
Do we want to put that date anywhere in here, like in our introduction or
could.
somewhere? So people know.
Sure,
when
I can
we
put the
were-
charge. You know what? I can even put it on that page. Where's the charge? Yeah. All right. So we're going to add it. I'll add. So you want it on page 4? You want a date?
I think
So
so.
we
I
might
think it'd
approve
be.
as amended, right? You have my copy.
Here, you can.
No, I have an older one. They're not that old. It's the same.
Yeah, but no, you can.
All right, so we're just going to add when we started this whole thing? Yep. On page, I can add it to, let's
So
see.
you can put Selectmen Form the Economic
Yeah.
Development Committee in July 2023.
Yeah, I'll get the actual date, but yeah. That is on page,
That's on
up
page
here.
4.
I was trying to save paper on both sides, so. All right, the Board of Selectmen Form the Economic Committee, I'll put the date on it. Because even though they formed it, we really didn't start till a couple of months later. But yeah, okay, so I'll put a date, okay? That's number 1. We're going to keep so we'll hopefully approve as amended. So we added that introduction just to introduce to the public who wasn't part of this process what was happening. All right, so that was our charge. And this is what we did. So Jay, you looked at the other one with charge 1, charge 2, they were highlighted. So we removed that. Laura did, it was kind of a little choppy, right? So we removed that. So speaking with our group, we decided to do what you're going to see here when we did the edit meeting. So the first assignments, now they won't always go in order that we did them, but they are here because sometimes it made sense to put some other places just for readability. But so we looked at the existing master plans to get educated ourselves that we have in our planning board website. So we looked at population housing, which was done in 2024. Transportation was updated in 2019. The master plan for economic development was 2002, and the community design was in 2019. So we had to understand how population housing, transportation, economic, and community design all were working together to start where we're going to go in the future. We did a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that we identified for the town. So what are our town's strengths? What are our weaknesses, opportunities, threats? The economic survey and data collection model then accurately reflected the feedback and desire of all its townspeople. So what we did, so why don't I back up? These are bullets explaining high level what we did. So we made an economic survey and data collection model that accurately reflected the feedback and desires of the town people. We spent many months, and you were there, so were you, designing the survey, right? We really worked on the words. We didn't want it to be biased or, kind of lead people on to answering a certain way. And we talked about how we were going to distribute the survey. We hit the voting, QR codes, hard copy. We took the results, right? The results were gathered, and they were published in many ways. All reports and that. So we had to be honest and step back. At this point, it was clear the business identified on the economic survey results would not offer substantial tax relief. However, these businesses would provide services and experiences that maintain Litchfield's charm. Also, with the circumvention highway project canceled, our old economic strategy, a new one had to be created. So that's what we were thinking at that point, but we said we still have to go forward with this. We're going to get into some of the one of the statistics that was on the survey, I added that was new about what they wanted for the town. You'll see that in the future when we get there. I'll point
Do you-
out when it's new.
I don't want to suggest changes, but.
Yeah, go ahead.
If not here somewhere,
Yeah,
I just think that the response to the survey was so impressive and wonder whether it's
Okay.
worth just mentioning the number of responses we got.
okay, I can do that.
It was really,
It was significant
it
for
was
sure.
very
It
significant.
really was, and we have the results here too posted, but yes, I can do that. Is everyone okay with
Yeah, and
that?
should we just piggybacking, Jay, from what you were saying, you know, how we gathered those results? Because we did it at the town meeting vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I think somewhere online too,
Yep.
or no?
And we had the hard copies at the library.
Right,
We had
right.
QR
I
codes,
think
The
right?
town meeting was what really
Really
brought
pulled
Town
everybody in.
The town
Yeah.
meeting.
Right.
And
All
it was a
right, so do you
real
want me to
effort.
elaborate more on that, how we gathered the data?
A line or two, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I would, I think,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
You
people
are-
moving forward, they can know, hey, how'd they get 1,300
Right.
responses?
Okay,
Because we're just awesome.
all right,
Yeah,
so I'll do
'cause
very
That, and
high
people were there
level.
forcing people to take them at the polling place.
Right.
So
But it is
can't go vote
true.
until you fill this out.
No,
If it was just
Oh.
online, there, we never would have gotten
Right.
those kinds of
It was
responses.
really the town
Okay.
meeting vote that.
Yes,
drove those
absolutely.
results.
all right, and that, so you know, back on page, we thank them in the front, right? Right
Yeah,
there.
yes.
But I can add a high-level number who responded, okay?
Yeah.
And, yeah, say how wonderful it was. And it really was robust information.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it really validates those results, I think.
It does, and one of the top ones that was on the survey I added here to prove why we were researching certain things,
Right.
which you'll see. All right, so, okay, so that'll be item 2. And this is great, why other people looking at it with another set of eyes, you know. All right, next, 7. Ooh, 7 of 26. Ooh. All right, so back to page 6, though. It was suggested that I add a title that says, because I used to just say key research, that I changed the title on page 6 to say key research completed pursuing the charge of the Board of Selectmen, okay? And I didn't want to write that on all of them, so the next page, I just say key research is completed, continued, you know, 'cause we did high level. We did more than this, but this is the high level.
Right.
All right,
It's
so
fine.
page 7, focus group was the next data collection, economic survey results. They had the economic survey results and other economic ideas. We looked at assessing data, MS4 maps, avatar data, materials from NRPC. You brought all the renderings, the GIS information, right? Town maps. There were design questions and promotional materials. So that's how we also had other ideas come forward. At this point, Kim Kleiner had set up a public series education. It was done at the library. It was recorded. I think the recording something might have happened to it, unfortunately. She was trying to educate the public on town budget assessments and the tax base and the tax calculation. So that was going on in February, meaning we're still analyzing our data. We're going to see, we invited that class into our room in a little bit, which is what I added to this new report. But that was also going on, and as we're looking at her do that, we're like, maybe we need to understand that as well. All right, business, so the next bullet that we looked at was business land use and impact of new development on taxes, particularly in the terms of infrastructure costs, emphasizing the balance of infrastructure needs with the requests for specific types of businesses, economic impact assessment, tax implications of various business scenarios were explored. So we did that. Again, the circumferential highway was canceled. The Board of Selectmen asked the town administrator to investigate who owned that land, and if they had any idea of what they wanted to do with that land. So we knew this charge was given to us, but it's like, well, what did they plan to do with that land? Let's go find out. So that's also formed the economic development to obviously research the strategy, so that was going on. All right, next. So, last time on the original report, this was just one bullet that said town budget, and there was another bullet. If you go look on page, let's see. If you're looking at the old report, see Laura, because town budget, town revaluation, they wanted me to add the reason why we looked at this. So that's why it's elaborated here. So you all see that. So I kind of made one bullet that combined town budget and town revaluation. Then I broke down town budget and then town revaluation on the next page. The reason I did that is comes back to the survey. During the 2024 Economic Development Survey, the following question was posed. What are the most important issues that should be addressed in the town of Litchfield over the next 5 years? Two of the consistent responses received were control the tax increases. 54.81% said control the tax increases. And on the survey, they also said diversify the tax base was 21%. So this is why we started to look at the town budget, town, assessments. How is this done? How much is commercial? How much is, residential? All right. The new municipal series of education on the prior page, presented on the prior page, was also reviewed in detail by our committee, so we can understand how our taxes were assessed, our tax base, our calculations used, and the budget. This helped with items 1 and 2 here, okay, above, so we could fully explore future scenarios and impacts of different businesses coming or not coming to Litchfield. So at that point, we could say, well, I'm making up a number. If the residents are 80% and the commercial is 20%, this is what we could expect for money, right? We were kind of doing these scenarios just to see what would happen. It allowed us to do that.
Right.
But it also gave us a current state of analysis of where we were. So that was the main thing. We are here today. What could happen? What could happen if we just did the businesses on the survey? And then what would happen if we wanted to open it up to more general in Litchfield? Okay. So we took her education from the prior page and we went through that. So the town budget, it was asked, we gave reasons why. So you're going to see on page 8 and 9 the reasons why town budget, and 9. I know it's lengthy, but I will say it's an education. If anybody's reading this report, they're going to know exactly how it's done. The budget, New Hampshire uses a mill rate to calculate, so let's go to town budget first. I don't know why she put that on the town budget, but let me just check. Yeah, she did, all right. And the other one was a revaluation, yep. All right, so on page 8, town budget at the bottom, New Hampshire uses a mill rate to calculate property taxes. Since the state does not have a general tax or an income tax, property taxes are the primary source of funding for local services and education. The mill rate or tax rate is the amount of tax payable per $1,000 of a property's assessed value. Higher total property values provide a larger tax base, but they do not automatically increase the town's budget. So far, so good. Next page, page 9. Town budget continued. The correlation between property values and a town's budget involves a relationship between the total assessed value of all the property in the municipality and the mill rate or tax rate is governed by the formula levy equals total assessed property value times the mill rate. All right, once the total levy is determined, the town's total assessed property value is used to calculate the mill rate. This mill rate is then applied to each individual property to determine the homeowner's share of the total tax burden. This arrow here is just getting to the point of why we did it. I had to explain that. They really care about the arrow and the underline, okay? If a town's overall property values increases proportionately, the tax mill rate will decrease to produce the same total levy tax approved. What is important is when it says when the assessed value of commercial properties grows faster than the assessed value of the residential properties, the commercial sector should shoulder a larger share of the overall tax burden. Does that make sense? We good? Okay. So, and she will answer the question of all boats rising together in a moment. Next, revaluation, because remember it's taxed on every $1,000, right? So now we have to revalue your property. How revaluation does work. So again, back on that other page, we wanted to learn about the budget because we wanted to see commercial and residential. All right, why we learned about revaluation, which is a warrant article every year. The economic study was conducted in 2024 prior to the town's state mandated revaluation. By law, RSA 75-8-A, the municipality must perform a valuation every 5 years for all properties in the municipality's boundaries. State law requires that your property be assessed at market value. Market value is defined as the amount a typical well-informed purchaser would be willing to pay for the property. The revaluation often causes concern among residents in regards to the tax rate. A common misconception among property owners is that after revaluation is that their increased tax assessment value would automatically result in an increased property taxes. Does that make sense? We always see that. let me just read that again. And their increased tax assessment value would automatically result in a increased property tax. So if your house was 400,000, it went up to 600,000, people automatically assume that tax is gonna go up proportionally to that. Property taxes are determined proportionally. As long as the entire community sees its value rise the same proportion, then each property still has the same proportion of the value relative to every other piece of property in the municipality. So as long as the town of Litchfield add everything up, and she actually added energy into that, because we had some energy properties, right? If Litchfield's land, if the whole sum goes up, and you also go up, it's okay, as long as you're proportional to the whole town going up. It's just pieces that, there's some that do, certain sectors that do get hit every few years based on real estate, but usually house type. Okay, so everyone's good with that? But I gotta go to the arrow at the bottom. This is why we did it. The key correlation is between the change in commercial property values and the average change in the value of the overall properties of the town. This determines who pays a larger or smaller share of the town's total tax levy, which is set separately through the budget process. So note, if a large new development, commercial or residential, occurs during the year, that could result in a substantial shift for everyone else's taxes. Could be good if everything goes up, right? So again, it was suggested we just had one line for each, so we gave a little definition, and then we gave you the reason we looked at it, because we had to understand what Litchfield had. You okay with that? So again, it is wordy, but for me, if I didn't go to these meetings, and I mean, I like finance anyway, but this, I think it would be educational just if people tripped on this to find it this way. Are we okay with that?
Yep.
All right. Next. I don't want people's eyes glazing over, but they could always go to the next slide anyway. All right, 11 of, so the other key research, and I think we're gonna be, limitation of town ordinances were explored. Northern commercial zone, limiting large-scale developments. Mixed-use zoning, 803 conditional users was introduced, right? Southern commercial zone may also benefit from mixed-use zoning. So again, we were just looking at those scenarios. Transportation and lack of traffic. We looked at mobility in and out of town. We looked at limits of potential customers for commercial areas today. Do they come to Litchfield? What are the limits where they may or may not? And failed business ventures. So we are still doing research on page 12. We're wrapping up our research. I think we got another page or two. All right, so I'm still on the new, so we looked, so the other one were existing ordinances. Now we're looking at potential new ordinances that were explored. So an overlay district on the Charles Bancroft Highway on Route 3A. What I added there that was different than the other report is everyone kept saying Route 3A, but that goes into Hudson too. So I just made sure I said Charles Bancroft Highway, Route 3A, so they knew it was Litchfield. So we talked about that overlay district to minimize tax impact. Home and commercial businesses may be in that area. So Laura, I might need you here. So you had mentioned form-based zoning, another change. I looked at that. I had to look it up, how to spell it, because I was writing from-based, form-based with no dash, So what I found online was from-dash zoning. It's a formula that you would work with when we're doing performance standards. So that would be something you would look at. So again, we were just talking about this, right?
Right.
Okay. The historic district was also in play at that point. I'm not sure if they're coming forward with anything or not, but it is the historic part of town. The feathering approach was discussed to gradually layer in businesses between the northern and southern commercial areas, including zoning to support it. Home-based businesses were also looked at that are not on the 3A. We just looked at home-based businesses in general, and logistics solutions, not specific to Charles Bancroft 3A. I think both Laura and Jay, it's all about balance is what you were saying, right? We want to respect the residences and still, the traffic, logistics in and out, but, all right, and the last thing we looked at, regulations needed for business types identified on the economic survey. So again, they wanted certain businesses, we just had to make sure whatever's on the survey would still work with our zoning or have them looked at. All right, no, these will maintain the character of our community and master plans. That was part of one of our charges before. Creating the performance standards for developers, I also added and business owners, right, because I think that was requested. So create performance standards for developers and business owners that are designed, focused cost-effective for the project, and highlight the importance of ensuring that businesses align with the town's aesthetic values. So the conversation is coming up of, just make the performance standards as strong as you have to maintain the character, right? And still allow the businesses in. All right,
The thing that I was
Yeah.
thinking about that
Yeah.
is cost-effective. I don't know if we want to tie in performance standards
is that
to
in the
be-
old one? What page was that on?
I'm looking at
What,
your
I'm on the
page
new
12.
page, let me go to my matrix. The new page 12 was the old page what?
Which was
The old page 7.
page- Yes.
Okay. Did we have that in there before? So they,
We do.
so here's my rating from the meeting, developers, and they said, and business owners.
Yep.
I spelled highlight, I took the dash out, that was another one. Do we have, yeah, we had cost effective in there, so what do you think?
Oh, well, only thing, I mean, I don't want, because if it's in there and somebody says, well, you know, the intent of the town is to have, you know, it be cost effective, it's not. The intent of the town is to develop standards to maintain aesthetics, nothing to do with cost. I'm just a little bit, I'd rather not put anything relating to cost in there. I don't think that's where our role is to talk about cost for the projects as far as performance standards.
I might be fine either way. This doesn't get into the northern mixed use where you do a formula, right? Do you think?
No, this is,
This is something different, so, okay, so what do you, does anybody
I
else
think
have
you
any?
can just remove,
So,
it's almost like cost-effective was filler for the sentence. It doesn't really.
well, yeah,
impact-
we had it here, but it was on the old one, but that's okay. So the owner, so what are you gonna say? Create performance standards for developers and business owners that are design-focused. You can say effective for the but you know, you just want to remove that line, cost-effective.
But
for
I
the-
don't think we should be having the
Okay.
word cost on it.
Cost, I guess,
Just
to
you wanna keep
Laura's point, cost
effective.
is irrelevant.
You want me to get the cost out and keep effective for the project? That doesn't really say much.
I-
I
Or
think you
just
could
remove
just
it.
strike the phrase
Okay, so it'll say
It just- it can be
design-focused
Design-focused for the project.
and
and highlight
highlighting
the
the
importance,
importance,
yeah.
okay, so get rid of the comma, and get rid of the, yeah, the design-focused and highlight the importance of ensuring the business, yep,
I
align
don't
with
even
town.
think you need to say, it's not the businesses, it's the design standards, the standards. So it's not really, I mean, we can have whatever business we want there. It's not the business, it's how they're developing the piece of property that we want.
Right, but she's saying it was two groups, or we had it here. That you have the developers need to know about the performance standards, and then the business owners should know about the performance standards, right? Once you design them, once you put them into the zoning.
Right, once they're into the zoning,
Right.
when whether it's whoever's developing the property, wherever I mean,
Right.
it's a team effort. It's gonna be a developer, maybe.
Yep.
It's gonna be engineers, it's gonna
Yep.
be landscapers, architects.
I think that's the developers, yeah.
Ensuring that,
So the design-focused and highlight the importance of ensuring businesses align with the, just strike that whole middle piece? Meaning the cost-effective for the project? You just want that piece gone?
so.
I'm just ensuring that the standards align with the town's aesthetic values.
All right, that highlight that the importance of ensuring that the,
I don't like using the
Right,
word standards
right.
again,
that the
but
standards allow?
Yeah,
Okay, you want
just-
standards? Okay, I got it, yeah.
Create performance standards that are designed.
Yep.
That are design focused, I think it's design focused. And,
Yeah, that's what it
highlight
says.
the importance
Yep.
of ensuring the businesses.
That standards align, do you want to say performance standards or just standards? That standards align with the town, and that these standards
Well,
align with the town's
I
aesthetic
think, so you've got create performance standards.
Yep.
And then I would say strike for developers and business owners.
Really? You want that in there or no?
I would take it out.
Yeah, so you're just saying create performance standards that are design focused,
No
Yeah.
ED.
no ED.
Yeah.
Strike cost effective for the project and highlight the importance of ensuring that businesses align with the town's aesthetic values.
You want businesses in there? Okay. All right. So just so I know when I walk away, create performance standards. Now, the reason that's bold-faced like that is performance standards show up later as one
Right,
of our,
right.
you know, because we voted on them kind of thing. So create performance standards that are designed, not design focused?
Design focused,
Design.
no
Design-
ED.
No ED.
All right, that are design focused and highlight the importance of ensuring that the businesses align with the town's aesthetic values. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get hung up on
Okay.
wording, but,
Done.
again, I think, I don't think it's the business, because it could be, I don't know.
Do you want to say ensuring that standards align with the town's aesthetic
Well, that's what
values?
I was
Or do you
thinking.
want to do
I mean, I just don't
businesses?
like
Yeah,
using
that's fine by
standards and
me.
All right, so
standards.
I'll recross that out and put that standards align. Do you want me to say that these standards or that performance standards, or just say standards?
I would put these standards, because
That-
we're going
Okay,
back to.
perfect, I'm putting my own stuff back, good. Okay, all right, create performance standards that are designed, focus, and highlight the importance of ensuring that these standards align with the town's aesthetic values. Okay, so that's an easy mod, nice, okay. All right, good. And that is a key piece later for the planning board to work on. All right, this one on page
Can I stop
13.
for one?
Sure.
other thing
Are we on
page,
12?
7, nope, yeah, page 12.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the overlay district, I don't think the zoning minimizes tax impact. So where you have overlay district on Charles Bancroft Highway,
I-
we have minimized tax impact.
But that's the reason we were gonna do it, right? Because if you added, but not, I'm not saying we can't take it out. But I think we were trying to minimize the tax impact by allowing businesses on that road, right?
But if my understanding was the overlay district was to have performance based to allow, obviously, other businesses on there, provided they conform to the performance standards.
Right.
But I don't see that as a minimizing tax impact.
It was to expand the tax base.
It would, yeah, do you want me to say expand tax base instead of minimize tax impact?
I thought that was the intent.
No,
did, too.
and I see that, I'm getting caught up with tying zoning necessarily into tax-based stuff. But even though I know it is a result of that, when I'm thinking of the reasons why we implement zoning, per statute, it's usually not tied into tax bases. It's just a lessen congestion in the streets, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember seeing tax bases being a reason why.
Grow the town's commercial base.
Yeah, if you go back to slide 8, it was that
Okay.
diversity of the tax base
Right.
was 21% of that survey. That's why we,
Right.
right? Do you want me to put diversify the tax base? Doesn't mean it goes up or down. Doesn't mean-
Yeah.
Do you want me to say diversify the tax base?
Oh, what were you saying before?
Expand the town's commercial base.
Yes, okay,
I could go either way.
either one.
So what do you want, diversify the tax base or expand commercial?
I'm happy with either. What would you prefer?
I think commercial would be alarming on 3A. People still think of it as
So,
homes.
Yeah,
Diversify tax base means it's gonna be
Okay.
that, but that's my opinion,
That's
but,
fine.
I think diversify is better.
Yep.
so I'm gonna say, it's gonna be remove, minimize tax impact and replace it with diversify.
The tax base.
Diversify tax base.
Yeah.
And you want me to put home and commercial businesses, or just leave diversify for home and commercial businesses? You want to say diversify the tax base for home and commercial businesses? Put potential home, how about? for-
You could take out home and commercial businesses.
Just want to say,
Just diversify the tax
Yeah,
base.
I think that's fine.
all right, diversify the tax base, and I don't even need parentheses anymore then, right? Just say diversify tax base, okay, period. Oh, I should be doing that, I shouldn't be modifying this one, I should be modifying this one. All right, you go back on page 12 is busy. All right, diversify. Nice, and that again solves the survey, at least we're looking at that, okay. All right, good. All right, and that is a busy slide, that is a lot of information. I mean, it's not a lot on it, but it is a lot.
But it's
coming
really
at-
key, so.
It was key. All right, this one used to be on page 8. See on page, the old 8, where it just said it said town land use statistics, and they were just percentages and dollars. They wanted the actual ones, which is why I had to track Kim Kleiner down to grab these. I'm looking at this, so taxable and exempt looks okay, right? Commercial, industrial versus residential. So is everyone okay with what they're saying? I triple checked the numbers from what she emailed me here. So that was 2 of the 3 that was on page 8. We have the taxable and exempt, and we have commercial, industrial, residential. Current use is just on the next page.
Quite the jump from 24 to 25.
Which one are you on? Are you on the
them.
current use, or are you on, from 24 to 25?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a big one right here. The sleep is taxable is big.
exempt also.
Yeah.
Huge increase. Everything,
This has given us insight,
Does that have to do with the revaluation?
gotta be.
and some new properties that were built. that look-
Yeah, but it's gotta be reval, because look how
Yeah,
dramatic.
Oh, yeah, the
It's
reval.
huge.
Right, like, commercial doubled.
Okay. Well, yeah,
should
it
be-
makes sense, because some were the
Right.
townhomes that were businesses, yeah.
Yeah, some of
makes
it's
sense.
growth, but, you know,
It's good.
Well,
Might-
because the condos are commercial property.
Yep,
right,
exactly.
right. We might just want to footnote, though, you know, it was a reval year.
Well, you want 25 to say, the reval? Because 24, right? We started in 24, right?
Yeah,
Re-
yeah, just because.
You want me to put a note, like 25, say post
Or
reval?
just a footnote, something that just makes it clear, right, that's, I mean, because those increases are so dramatic, it would,
Okay,
5 years
Throw
from now, somebody's gonna go, what the heck happened
so you
there?
want to say
Exactly.
2025 reflects revaluation?
yeah.
Where do you want that? Because look at page 14, so you can just tell me where you want it.
Well,
Maybe I
just-
can put, you know what, I can put it right here on
Or
the,
just
on the bullet. Town
an
land
asterisk.
data statistics, right?
I mean, I was thinking just an asterisk, yeah, and.
Asterisk
Okay,
over
asterisk.
2025,
And
and
then
a little
just a
footnote
footnote.
at the bottom.
Because it's, okay, so what did you say, Peter? Where did you want that?
I would just put an asterisk
Asterisk
at
next to
2025
Yeah.
with a little footnote at the bottom that says,
Okay, good, got that. And just say reflects revaluation.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. This next one is page 14. So farmland, I almost wish we had percentages. I should have cranked them out quickly. Farmland, forest land, it's pretty big. You know, just acre-wise, right? Unproductive land, wetland, and total.
In the wetland, is that supposed to be like one word, like wetland, or just land that's wet? Is that,
She had wet dash land.
yeah, I don't know what, so is that like?
Probably just ask it there, like,
Is that on this
probably
one?
not buildable, right?
Right, but is that like what we're classifying for zoning as wetland? Is that land that's just wet?
I'll ask her, because she did write it that way.
Okay.
So you want me to just question?
Oh, yeah, I
that?
just want clarification
Right.
if that's supposed to be
Could be that way in the current use statute, for all I know, yeah.
Right, I
difference
don't know
between
what.
wetlands and wetland.
All right, so you want to know
Exactly.
wet land
Well,
or
wet.
Like I have
wetlands.
wet land in my backyard right now, but it's not wetland.
It's probably an archaic term, but.
Okay. Which prompts the bullet below it, which we always knew had to happen, but we worded it nicer. Has everyone done assessing the current use one? You all look okay at that?
Yep.
All right, limited availability of commercial property. So we're recommending a strategic plan is needed from the Board of Selectmen, or at least, you know, how we're gonna go about it. Approximately 9% of Litchfield's total land is designated for commercial use. Given competing interests for this land, there needs to be a strategic plan to optimize its utilization. That makes sense? Now, again, we still are waiting for the state, you know, to find out what they're doing with that piece, but once it's known, that has to be looked at. Okay.
And that piece is
That'll
owned
be
by the
handed off
state,
to the
right?
board,
So
which is shown later.
that piece is owned by the state
Some of it is, some of it's privately owned still. Yeah.
still, okay.
And I'm just.
Yeah.
when I'm
It
Which
looking-
wasn't
number are you
taken
on?
by eminent
14?
domain at some point?
It
Are you on
was.
14?
Yep, I was just on,
So
so,
it's all, so then it should all effectively be state land. right?
It is stately, yeah. It's just, it's
There's a
weird.
cou- I know there's a couple little slivers in there of,
Jason went through this whole thing,
did.
remember, when we were like trying to figure out title to the property.
Yeah, that's coming up with, we fixed that at the bottom. We,
Yes,
this
it's in there.
strategic thing is that, you know, recommendations, we branch off who's gonna do what.
Mm-hmm.
This'll be straight, this one will be, and same with that land, research. Yeah, so what did you have for
so my question was,
14?
yeah, so 14 where it says approximately 9%. I just flipped back to page 13, and I'm looking at commercial land, and I see 5 and 6.25%.
Where do you see that?
So-
You're looking at residential?
No, so I'm looking at 14, it says approximately 9%
Oh, I'm
of
sorry, the wrong
Litchfield's
page.
total land area is
Yep.
designated for commercial. So I'm
Yep.
like, oh, okay, so then I'm like, oh, did I see that on the previous page? So then I
Right.
flip back to 13.
Yep.
And I see commercial, and I see 5.14 and
Right.
2024, and then 25, 6.25.
I know, I asked her that.
So
Yeah.
where are we getting the 9
We should
from?
probably double check.
I'll
but
double check, but I did ask her that,
I
and I also
guess-
said, why is it commercial industrial? Should it be broken up?
My guess is that the
She said they're the same
9%, it might reference taxable land, whereas on the prior page, it includes
Grab that
exempt.
page. All right, so you just want to make sure this is 9%,
Yeah,
right?
like, yeah, like where,
Just that
you know,
the
when I'm
math-
looking
Let me
at
just
it, I'm just
verify
trying to
it.
find
Right.
out where that 9%, because
Okay.
I would like to see it tie into this page 13.
That's what I'm saying, percentages on that other piece would be good, right? Yeah.
Unless, like you said, it's the commercial, I don't know how that.
Yeah, because it's called, see how it's called
Oh,
commercial
so-
slash
so-
industrial?
Designated for commercial use might mean it's in a commercial zoning district, whether it's used commercially or not.
I will find out and
So
put a
we'll find
star
out, but
next
that
to
could be
that.
what it
We'll
means.
put a star next to the
'cause just when I'm
9%, right?
flipping back, like I'm thinking in my mind it should match, but it's
Yeah,
not.
no, you're right, but I see,
Yeah, and I don't know, yeah, she could just be using it differently than the way I'm thinking.
right, because just as I'm glancing at the red on the map,
That could be about right, 9-10%.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, we can just say about approximately 9% of Litchfield's total land is
Zoned.
zoned, but it's still not matching up to, you know, I guess this commercial and
Yeah,
industrial isn't
and-
zone land, it's just businesses may be non-conforming
Right,
with something
because
different.
there's definitely land
Right,
that's
that's
commercially zoned that's in current use, or that's.
Right, exactly,
yeah.
yeah, just a little clarification
And
on
she
that,
could
I
be
think.
pulling this out of Avatar that doesn't separate it right, you know?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
find out.
So we'll find out.
clarify.
I'll put it. Ooh. Ooh, that's the hot line. Fire? You getting a fire warning before we are?
Oh, my goodness, I'm sorry.
All right, so we were on page, we're almost done with our key research. Page 14. We're done with, 14. The last thing we did was bring in a company called Placer
Yep.
to do data analytics software for traffic information. We wanted to see in Litchfield, how many pass through Litchfield to go to work, don't live here, how many leave and come back? You know, we were trying to look at that, because if they do leave, what businesses do they go to see? Because maybe we would want those businesses here. We were trying to do a lot of that, but then Jay said, we didn't like the price of this, but you had it at NRPC, but you said it was flawed a bit, because if people go to a mall just to buy something, or they go to the mall because they work there, you know, it would be kind of a tougher.
you don't know why
And it-
people made a trip purpose.
Yeah,
You
so
just-
it wouldn't have added, we weren't gonna pay the 12,000, it wouldn't have added a lot to our analysis, I think, at the end. And plus, people are remote working more too, so it would've been a little skewed.
Well,
We
That's changing back.
And so what did I say here? We said findings not recommended at this time. What did we say? We said travel traffic information to assist municipalities in the recruiting of businesses. That's what it was for. Analyzes retail visits, employment trends, and residential movements for potential business opportunities, and our findings was not recommended at this time. All right, at that point, we said, sew that patient up, we're done, right? Okay, all right. Oh, we had one more, this is Jay, you were here for this one. You and I had meetings before that, because we looked at the existing 2002 master plan for economics, and we decided what we had to do to modify it, right? So, examine the 2000, so we're on page 15, everybody? We're on
Yep.
15? Reviewed and made recommendations to the Chapter 6 Economic Development Master Plan. So we examined the 2002 strategy, which focused on the circumventional highway. We identified items related just to the circumventional highway, and we recommended removals, because if the project's no longer there, we remove them, right?
Yeah.
We know back then you had strategy around sewerage and where was it gonna go, you know, so all of that was gone. We identified sources, where to get updated new data for the economic sections of that chapter. So the old chapter was done beautifully, because you told us before where you got your information from under the graphs and pictures. So hopefully they're still around. If not, we could give you that information for that. Then we examined at the bottom of every master plan, there's always a section called future recommendations. So we looked at what they said back in 2002, what they would like in the future, and we just said which one would still apply or not, right? So we removed some, we added some, and then identified items that will just stay, that are there. And then we made sure we included our Economic Development Committee final recommendations into that plan. So the feathering, these performance standards, right, but we're gonna get to that list in a moment, okay? So we did that, right, we met, and you have that.
Yep.
All right, so that's, and Jay, you clarified at that point, I can't speak for Laura, I can speak for me, though. I thought we were supposed to come up with zoning ordinances and all of that, but once you clarified, you just wanted the idea that the planning board would actually do that. I think
Right.
that freed everybody up, because I think we still thought we had this big shackle to come up with that. And you said we couldn't do that because it's in, the zoning ordinances are so big, well, Laura knows that too. Sections would have to be looked at and
Oh, yeah,
cross-referenced. So
absolutely.
it's something that we could not do, but you at least had the ideas, which is what we're recommending here. All right, so I don't know if Laura was at this meeting or not, but this is where way back I did a timeline of all the meetings, right? And we took out all the themes that we could find, and we came up with this list. And what we thought as a group. So this is our findings now. We had an initial findings, and then we had final summary. The initial findings, we came back with a list, the group here, and we all voted on them, whether they supported it or not. So this is a matrix here of, I think there were how many? Let me go to page 18. There was 15 items that came up, and we came to this meeting, and we had everybody vote. Looks like there were 5 people there that night, because it's 500 or 5 whatever. So number one, we're looking at all the findings we just did on all the prior pages, right? And any notes from our minutes, we got it all summarized, we came up with this. Investigate an overlay district for 3A, feathering in home businesses and businesses. So the main thing is you're gonna develop performance standards, right? 5 said, yes, we want to keep that in our new strategy. And we've just, we talked about bed, breakfast, wineries, breweries, coffee shop, farm to table, rely on the performance standards to maintain the rural charm. And that would, you brought this up, they would, Laura, they would dictate the architectural elements such as pitches, landscaping, all that. So they said, yes, we want to develop the performance standards. The historic overlay is the second one. We don't know. It's not needed for our charge. We're, right, that's what the comment that I put there. But it does help with the rural character, and the performance standards probably would make sure that happened anyway. But it was, they said it was not needed, so we didn't vote on it. So you have a list of 15 here. If they said no to it, or we didn't vote on it, we're gonna remove it from the list. So they just said it's not relevant for our charge, so we're gonna.
So are we keeping 2 in there, or?
No, you're gonna see that this research initial findings will go into our final matrix.
Okay.
So that was my remark that they said not needed.
And the thing with is how I understand the historic overlay, I don't think it's maintaining, well, I guess it can't, it's just preserving
Preserving.
existing structures.
Right.
And can I be super picky? Can we take out yeah and put yes or yay?
Where did you put that?
on
Oh,
the-
up here?
on
You don't
the-
want yays and nays? What do you want up there?
Well, that's yeah, isn't it? Like Y-E-A-H?
How would you spell it? Did you get the H off?
No, Y-A-Y, like yay, right? Is that yeah?
How do you say
Actually,
yay and nay?
YAE.
Y-A-E? Y-A-E.
Do you want yes, no, yay, nay? What do you want?
I just don't think it's yeah, right?
It's yay or nay, or
Right.
yes or no.
All right, let me get my
Yes,
little
right,
matrix
right,
here.
But it's not,
All right.
yeah.
What page is that on?
Because that's yeah.
yes.
Wow,
yeah.
no one picked that one up. All right, so how am I gonna spell it? Y-E-A or yes?
Or
What
it
do
could
you
be
want?
aye or nay.
We have yay, nay, and abstain. What do you
Abstain.
want?
It's-
Yes, no, and never? No.
Well, it just should be, if it should
Should
be
be consistent,
Y-E-A-H.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
Y.
it should be YEA.
Well, what do you think the
No
public
H.
would
No
want?
H.
No, H.
Just remove the H.
All right, Y-E-A, yay. N-A-Y, nay.
Right.
Abstain. All right. That is the Laura legal person's I. Oh, let me put a note to change that. All right. Okay, so then we voted on number 3. They really, for the next page, let's go to page 17. So Laura, I know you couldn't come last time. This 15 is going to funnel into a smaller number.
Understood. Yep.
And notice if you go back one, I hate to make you keep jumping around, but go back up to page 16. Notice I added the color coordinated to it, because before we didn't know. I just had an X there before, so I mean, it's gonna go to planning, right? So,
What does the ZOMOD mean?
it could be a zoning mod, if they come up with a
Okay.
zoning modification for
Okay,
you.
okay.
All right, so now we're on 17. Notice, the green is the Board of Selectmen, okay? So, creating a business directory, the Economic Development Committee wanted to do that. That came out of the focus group, right? Business marketing, website, social media, that came out of the focus group as well. The only comment that they made was merge 3 and 4 together. So you'll see that on the funnel when we get down lower, okay? Number 5, update home business ordinances, balancing the business needs versus residential expectations. That would be going to planning. Planning board recently did this, balance needs helps home businesses while respecting the neighborhood homes, right? I know that's ongoing because you just have different businesses come in to the planning board all the time, right? But you did look at it, but again, keep an open mind, right? And make
back
sure what
this
was
year.
on the survey can be done, right?
It'll be back this year for our family home childcare.
Yep. All right, so they said, this was what did they say? No. It was a no. Planning board, did they say no?
Sure.
Planning board recently did this, balance is needed, right? But Jason,
Where are you?
I'm on
Number
page
5.
17, number
Yeah.
5.
Oh, number 5.
Yeah, they said, no, we already just did it.
We just did it, so.
We already did it, but I would say maybe we want to just, that's what Jeremy said, we did
It's
it.
something that you always have to look at, so.
Yep.
Just, like I said, we're gonna look at it again this year because of changes in state law.
Right.
So we have to look at it
But
this
this
year.
is how they voted.
Well,
I have to
Oh,
report how
I
the
mean,
group
that's
voted.
fine, that's fine.
Yeah, and
People,
but
people
yeah.
can still bring it forward, we just doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
let me just
something
make
that
a
we're
note, because I do
gonna
think that does come
advocate for.
forward. Let me, what's this, number 5 on the initial? Our
It's
initial
number
finding.
5 on 17.
All right, so what was number 6? Update the home signage, the home business ordinances for signage. Again, you had gone through that, but we had a yes and then an abstain. I think Jeremy abstained because he was on the planning board, right? I know you do that all the time, but you'll keep it
Yeah,
open,
but
right?
that came specifically out of somebody who came to the meetings.
Yep.
Who felt that the no sign thing was too restrictive, so. yeah.
So we had an ordinance on mixed use in the northern commercial area for the last election, but at this point, when we were voting, we didn't know what the outcome was. But at this point in time, maybe we should actually put a date. Want me to put a date on the initial findings? Because that'll, I don't know if it'll help or not, but we didn't know
It
what
was
the, well, no, I
approved- it was
just said,
approved
I
at
said not
town- at
needed,
town
just
meeting,
approved for
so
the
it's
voters.
irrelevant.
Okay, so we have a note. So we said it's not needed, so you're not gonna see that come through the funnel. All right, expand the southern commercial area. So, currently investigating state-owned land status, potential water project and other water inquiries in that area. To be determined. So we don't know yet until that comes back. But of course, the Board of Selectmen's watching that, right? So we're awaiting follow-up from New Hampshire DOT. I just found out we also have DES over there, so we added that last time. Peter remembers that. Maybe get our federal reps involved later, but right now we have the federal rep, Maggie Goodlander, looking into this. We're letting her, because she can call the governor, she can call Penachuk. But if not, we'll pull our state reps, once that's all going on. Number 2, so under still expanding the commercial, property ownership is questioned, deed research is needed. Mixed use may still be a future option, and you're gonna see that theme coming through later. All right. Number 9, explore the land between the end of Albuquerque and Page Road. It's privately owned. We said no, we all abstained, don't let it pass, it's privately owned land. Investigate available properties on Route 102. Again, Jason was calling them up at the meeting, right? And, awaiting.
There's actually a lot of lots on 102,
Yeah,
where former houses were,
I know.
2 or 3 former houses.
Yep. Well, we still have, some of that on 102 is the DE, is that
It was-
circumferential
Right, it was
stuff.
for the ramp,
But the
right?
scattered properties, so part of this is still follow-up of, DOT. I should actually add DES there too for number 10. Let me do that, because I added it to the one above it, right?
I think for 2 though, is it just scattered properties owned by the state, or is it scattered properties owned by, various?
Well, that's gonna come up with the phantom
It's,
stuff.
some of it's owned by, by individual people.
Yeah.
but some of it was taken for
Right.
Right.
circumferential.
Yep. So we're waiting to see what we
My
find out.
memory on looking at 102, it wasn't just about state land, it was about available property generally. This only references state land.
Yeah, it's gonna come up.
So do you want to change that wording to say,
Let me see if it
It
comes
says
up in a
investigate
minute.
available properties.
There's one coming,
Right.
what's the one
Oh,
under
but
it?
then in the
Then
connection,
we talk about
both
scattered
1 and 2
properties.
reference state property, so
yeah,
you
I
could
figure
put
state.
scattered properties owned by
or
various,
available properties.
What do you wanna say? So you don't want
I
it to say
just say,
state?
you
Owned
know,
by,
scattered properties
say it over here?
under varied ownership or under.
you wanna say, what do you wanna say, owned by
Scattered
various?
properties under or owned by various parties or
Okay,
under,
I like
you know.
that.
various
yeah.
ownership?
Yeah.
Whatever you wanna word it.
Various parties, do you want that?
Sure, either way, it's not, so that it's not just limited to state.
Okay. All right, and again, to be determined, right?
Yeah.
Number 11, discussion, again, these are the themes that emerged from all our research, right? Southern commercial land inquiry. Discussion only existing home businesses, lots in that area. So again, we just had a discussion, we didn't have to vote on anything.
Again, and that was all that stuff down there.
All right, what number are we on now? Page 18.
Number 12.
All right, this was a good one, I thought. Recommended a DOT permit appeals process. They were referencing the gas station with trying to get the curb cut, and there's a 1971 ruling where it's so many
Just
feet.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Barron's might have been another reason we had some issues. There was other things with that, but so maybe it will go to the Board of Selectmen, a state rep, if they wanted to design one. Would help businesses expedite if they are waiting for the state, and that has been a problem.
Do you want to put like recommend improvements to it? Because we're not recommending a permit.
If somebody wants to make an appeals process out, that's what they were recommending.
I think it would be two-pronged, right? Because the appeal process takes forever.
You'd
So
have,
ideally, we'd be able to just change the rule that, I mean, this goes back, we're talking 50 years ago.
right, somebody, so that's gonna be at the state rep level, I would
Yeah.
think, yeah. And DOT would have to be, they may not even want an appeals process, I don't know.
Right.
But it would involve high,
Right, but I think we had like before, it's just a DOT permit appeals process, but
Yeah.
now we're saying recommend on PGT. Why are we saying recommend? Like,
they wanted to make a recommendation to DOT, recommendation for the DOT permit process to allow an appeals process to happen. I can reword that better.
so DOT does not have an appeals process, is what you're saying? So if somebody's denied a permit at DOT, they don't have any appeals?
I think that's saying,
That's,
I don't know that.
so
but
I'm just confused as to what we're trying
Yeah.
to say here.
It seemed,
I thought when we were talking about it that recommend changes to the permit process to make it easier for folks to get a permit. Like if there was barriers to getting,
Well, I think it's
with the-
tied, a lot of it's tied to the curb cut,
right,
right? So
It's the curb cut, that
knowing somebody
1971 rule.
that tried to get it through down on the
of the gas
southern
station.
end, no, not the gas station, but at
Go to that
Licks.
number, 12?
Okay.
Right, Licks had one big wide opening,
Yep.
and the
Yeah,
state
they
came in and
did.
said, you need to put an island in there
Right.
with only one way in, and they fought it. And they basically said, do it, or we're gonna do it ourselves.
So do you want to find out if there is an appeals process?
I don't see how they wouldn't be in an appeals
And
process to a
then, or
permit.
is it just the curb cut? That was the example. They were given
If
gas
there's an
station
appeals process, I
Barron's.
think it's years in the making.
Yeah, I think it was specific to the curb cut rule, and I'm not sure if there is an appeal from the curb cut rule, but I don't know that.
All right, so what do you want me to do here? Do you need me, want me to work with Kim? She would know probably? Or do you
She'll
want
know.
me, I know Jason once, brought it up.
I definitely, my memory, I wasn't here for the vote, but my memory is when we were talking about how it's just difficult to get those permits in a timely fashion.
Well,
That's an issue.
That's an issue because they were all retiring or.
Right, and I remember saying like,
Budget.
the staffing there is, they're having a hard time keeping hiring
Right.
employees.
Well, we've been good with them on the planning board. We let them
Absolutely.
We let them
Select board
start
too.
as long as they will not hold the town liable later
Mm-hmm.
if it's not approved by DOT. We're not, we
That's a
were
big
helping
risk.
in that way. They couldn't wait a
Right.
year to get a driveway permit, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were two issues really there. One was just how long it took to get the permit.
Right.
The other issue was they wanted 2 curb cuts. And DOT wouldn't let them have 2 curb cuts, and that's where that 71 rule comes in, And that's a tough one. And last, at least I knew, they don't bend on it. If you have so many curb cuts, and it goes, you look back to what you had in 71, and even if you subdivide the property,
That's
right,
all you get.
It's all you get.
So is this more of an inquiry to see if this could be done? I mean,
I think it's just a question of how to
Maybe it's
word that.
investigate,
Right.
not recommend.
okay, so
It's
investigate, I
That's a
like
good,
that.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Investigate, yeah.
Investigate, I like that.
Because that's why Barron's isn't where it is. Well, that, and there was a
The
puddle.
EPA, didn't they have like a little environmental?
issues, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Like
can
it was an
mitigate,
area.
They're letting them
amount
mitigate.
of- It was a mathematical
But once they
formula
have
that
now
did them
to
in.
put- Reggie wants to put in there. Somebody had
Yeah.
in a bad mood that day.
Okay, so I'll change number 12 to just say investigate, but we'll keep it, because it was 500.
Right.
Okay.
It says that you can appeal a curb cut
Okay.
to the Commissioner of Transportation.
Well, that makes sense. It does make sense that there'd be an
So
what do we-
appeal.
Well, I think.
Well, this is
pretty
how
much
we
everything should
voted,
be-
so I have to leave it the way we voted, right?
Yeah, but I think
Investigate
investigate's a
it.
good way to put it.
Okay, and I put it under Board of Selectmen, they can have somebody do that,
Right.
or put it over.
And there are changes that are happening at the state level. I think there's a 60-day rule.
It was for
Right.
residential, right?
I think it's for resident, I think it's specifically multifamily
good.
residential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, EDC items are ongoing. So again, it may not have showed up on the survey, but, we're always keeping an eye on that. Warrant article ideas, again, I just said it's ongoing through this whole process.
Can you
And
get rid of the question mark then? Right.
we could. I'll just remove that,
Yeah.
kill, remove, all right. All right, and discussing of ADU impact, that has obviously done well, but I think you might be having a change, I don't know, but we were discussing that.
Yeah.
More affordable, increased town population, and needed for town services. All right, so anything on those last 3 pages that had an X in the field, funneled down, and maybe a TBD, and the TBD's funneled down. Anyone they said remove, there was one where we all abstained. Which one did we all abstain on? I didn't bring it forward.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was number 9.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna see that come down,
So that gets
because I
us
thought
to-
it would go there, but they said abstain. All right,
That
so
gets us
let's
to
go. So
19.
that was all the initial findings. Anything with an X or to be determined came down to the final recommendations.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yep.
All right, we're on 19 of 26. Oh, how do we introduce our first public hearing? Because we have to do 2, right? Public hearing,
Public input.
public input, excuse me. Yeah, that's a big difference. At 7:41. I don't see anybody in the audience. You don't want to come up? Matt says no. All right. All right, then I will close public input at, I'll say 7:42. Make it look like a minute, right? All right, back to our business. Okay.
And we'll just make the language changes we suggested above
To
on this
flow
table.
through to the
Yeah,
same one.
put an investigate and remove the question mark.
Yeah.
This can be no problem.
I think there's one
All
about the.
Oh, on the
scattered
same. Oh,
properties.
yeah, that's the
so-
thing.
Yeah.
When I changed it on one, I had to change it on both, right?
Yeah, whatever we changed
exactly.
above, change
Right.
here.
All right, so we're on number 20 at this point? Are we on 20? Are we on 20? Yes, initial findings is
Yes.
done, 20. All right, so that's why it's color coordinated again. The planning board, yellow, Board of Selectmen, green. They just came down the same way, and like you're saying here, just mark it up, right?
Right.
So I am not going a little nutty. All right, so we are removing the question mark. We're gonna make that investigate. And the question mark was on which one? Did it come down? Did the question mark one even come down? Which one was the question mark?
I don't think it.
Oh,
did.
no, the warrant article idea?
Yeah,
That did not
just
come down.
Steve.
Okay. Those were just, we were keeping our eye open as things
Yeah.
were going. Next. Oh, we're still on 20. All right. So that's what came forward.
Yep.
So now we go back and say, we're gonna cross-reference it with other things. All right, what's on the, let me just look at 19. So everybody understands 19?
Yes.
What's 20?
20 is just the
All right, so
continuation.
what the future thing is, if you look at the old report, I'll show Jay. The old report did all of this funneling, right?
Yep.
The old, you go to the old report, page 14. Do you see the old one, Jay, or do you want me to just show it to you?
Yeah, you could just show it to me.
So we had, when we made that, the 15 that we voted on, we actually went back and reread all of our meeting notes, and there were things, so we pulled out themes from our data. We actually went back and read all the meeting notes, and these three things came out,
Okay.
right? And so we said, well, we didn't vote on them, so why don't we call them future recommendations?
That's fair.
So I'll show you what I mean, and then I'll take it back and I'll show Laura. So we vote, so this funnel was the 15 down to what?
Right.
I don't know, let me know, it came down, what's on funnel recommendations, page 19? Yeah, so the 15 above came down, became 7,
7.
okay? And really 5, we can do something, 2 or to be determined, right? These, we went back and did reading, we went through all of our notes, all of the minutes, thank you for doing the minutes. And these other things came through, but we never voted on them. What they were, so at the last month's meeting, they just said, call it future considerations for the town, okay?
It's reasonable.
And so, and guess, again, the form-based zoning, that just came out of a lot, and actually what you had said at some of the meetings, right? Strategic plan about that commercial area, about 9%, okay? And reevaluate expanding the southern commercial area. So this is a question I actually had for people I wanted to ask. The comment may also benefit from mixed-use zoning we had seen before, further. There was at the end, somebody asked, expanding the boundaries of the southern commercial area. Like, I think at one of the last few meetings, somebody said, well, are we talking the whole 3A? Or are we talking?
Well, I think we were talking about the whole 3A is what the overlay district
Yeah,
was
and
going
then
to
we
be.
said it's gonna fall on the, the overlay and the
right.
performance. So again, but it
Or
did
we
come
just
up
gonna
about
pick a
expand,
point
so
on
I can
3A,
remove
point on
that.
3A and say this is where it
But
can
you
happen.
can, so I made a note on that because it did show up kind of up above earlier, but not huge. So do you want me to remove 2?
2, the strategic plan?
No, so right here on page 20, these are the future considerations, the
Yeah.
ones that kicked out of our reading. Number 3, reevaluate expanding southern commercial area. So, again, maybe you want mixed-use zoning in there, that could be one thing, right?
Well, it's also number 6 on final recommendations, expand southern commercial area.
Where's number 6? Oh, yeah, because it came down through the funnel.
Right.
We went 15 down to 7, right? Yeah, it does, but it
So
did
do
show
we-
up
does
here
it-
too.
Does it need to be on
Oh, you're
this?
saying it's repetitive. Let me see about that.
Right, because it's already, you're right, it's already on 6, so.
6.
Okay, I'm just taking the data and throwing it there.
Right.
All right, so you're saying this is also up here on the 7,
On
right?
page 19, it's number 6, and
All
on
right,
page
so
20,
Board of
it's number
Selectmen
3.
plan, Southern commercial zone may also benefit from mixed-use zoning.
But was the point to expand the zoning boundary, or was it just to?
That was my question, yes.
To expand on the uses.
Like just the uses contained in there, not make,
What do you remember?
So maybe it's.
I don't remember expanding
Maybe it's
the zoning.
reevaluate permitted
remove 2.
uses in the southern commercial area.
Okay. I know people kind of mentioned it in passing, but we never really had big discussions or votes on it. So do you want me to just remove 2?
No, we didn't, yeah.
Just remove 2?
but I think even the expand the southern commercial, I thought we were just talking about, and again, I wasn't here for the vote, so I'm gonna preface it with that, now we're gonna have all this new land available because the circumvention highway isn't moving
Yes.
forward. What should we do with the allowable uses in the southern commercial
Right.
district? Not
Yep.
expanding the boundaries of that zoning district.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
looking at the available uses that,
Yep.
is that enough? Should we change it? Should we limit it?
Yeah, it was like just a closing comment that was
Yeah,
said.
I think it's fine.
Do you want me to leave it or remove it? I don't-
Well, so
Maybe it's not expand.
Right.
Maybe expand is the wrong word.
For number 6, I think it was looking at expanding the southern
6?
commercial district to include the DOT land.
Is it not included already? The southern
Not
commercial?
on, not all of it. Some of it is in highway commercial, some of it isn't included. So like
In my
that,
note.
right away,
Oh, between-
where, that was Industrial Drive, where Knowles Tree Farm is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could be wrong, that's.
Yeah, no,
I think
I-
there were 2 separate conversations.
Maybe if we kept expand, I would probably say to include, the formerly owned DOT area, so we're not looking to, if that was the intent, I don't know if that clarifies it a little bit
Under
more.
number 6?
Under number 6. Just when I see expand, it makes me think we're changing the zoning boundaries.
right, that's why I wanted to check
But
with
if we
everybody.
are, because Jay, you're telling me that you think that we were.
I think we
doing that.
did talk about that,
So
yeah.
if we did, but that was for a specific purpose of just including the NHDOT property.
Yes.
Want me to put
So
that
I
in
would-
there?
Which is why I think if you look at number 6, all the references are to the DOT land and to doing deed research on it.
Can I get back
So
to
then
number 6?
if it's-
There we are.
What about if it's about focusing number 6 more on evaluating the uses of the NHDOT property and not expanding this other commercial area?
Well, that could be fair.
I just don't, I don't like when gives the impression that we're changing, zoning
Boundaries.
districts and boundaries, especially if we're just talking about that land that's coming,
That may or may not become available.
Well, 6
Really?
and 7 break it up, right? You have the 102 piece, right?
That's 102, and yeah,
Got
6.
6 and 7, those two might be handling it there, right? They both have to have that, I don't know if they both need the DOT.
Well, they're different areas, so.
I don't know what they're looking at. Because they do have land over there too, right?
Well, that's,
Or
the
is that the
stuff on
mystery?
on
It says
3A
scattered.
is not DOT, right, isn't it DES?
I think it's both.
Which one? Yeah, number 7, I'm
There's
gonna add
definitely
DES.
DOT land.
Yeah, there is.
Off of,
But I do think they're separate. I think the 102 land is totally separate
I
from,
agree. I
from
think
the land on,
102 and 3A are different things.
Yep.
The question is just, is it, on number 6, should it say expand southern commercial area, or should it say,
should just say reevaluate.
or
The-
evaluate commercial potential DOT land?
So I see what you're saying. Expand might mean we're making it bigger versus what we're trying to
Right,
use
right.
it for, right?
Right.
So maybe evaluate the commercial potential of state land?
Well, I need to change it in 2 places. So what about number 7? Is that still investigate the properties? Just,
Yeah, I think
I think
so.
7's fine, because I think that's different.
am I adding, should I add DES there? DES is looking at the one.
You do have DES, so if you
Right.
look under EDC remarks.
Yep.
It does reference
Well, the-
NHDOT/DES.
Does both properties, the 102 one as well?
We don't have it from
Oh,
102.
they might have some of that, they may have some of that land.
Okay, so
on-
I'll put DES in there as well. So 6 and 7 both say
'Cause it
DES.
would-
I fixed that.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't want, so for number 6, you want to say what? Let me get my number 6 over here, because I have to do it in the funnel
I
up
would-
top
I
and
would-
down here.
Yeah, I was, maybe it's evaluate commercial potential of state land.
All right, I'm in initial findings, so I'm back up here. If I'm in initial findings, that would be, go back up to initial findings, because this is the funnel, right? Can you go back up?
It would be number 8.
Is it number 8? Okay. So I'll
Yes.
change, so what do
It's
you,
number 8.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to do multiple things. So what do you want me to say in the,
Evaluate commercial potential of state land.
evaluate commercial potential,
Or you could say vacant state land.
you want me to say vacant? State
Yeah.
land?
Sure.
All right, with that, is that gonna be, they still need to know southern commercial though, evaluate southern commercial area, right? We don't wanna just say evaluate commercial, cause that's north and south, right?
Well, it's evaluate commercial potential.
Yeah, but do you want me to say southern commercial?
Located,
Because this, all about this DOT, DES is because
Okay,
of the
so,
water.
so then
We're going.
evaluate commercial potential,
of land located in or adjacent to the southern commercial.
district. Yeah,
All right, you have to re-say it for me slowly. Go ahead. Say it how you want it.
Evaluate
Yep.
commercial potential
Okay, hold on. Commercial potential.
of vacant land, of vacant state-owned land.
Yep.
Located
Okay, hold on. State-owned land located.
in or adjacent to the southern commercial
district.
district.
It'll fill up the box.
Okay, and so that's on number 8, and it's on number 6, you
For
said?
the final. Yep.
That makes sense.
Same as number 8 above.
And then number 3 for the future. So we'll change it in 3 spots.
Mhm.
What's number 3?
3 on the future considerations.
Yeah.
So that same language would carry
Oh.
forward to 3 spots. So on page 20.
Yep.
On page.
Well, you're questioning if we even need it, right? Peter was questioning if we even need number 3.
Oh, on 20?
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
They're kinda
because
handling it
it's in
multiple
there
times.
already as not a future consideration. We're gonna do it
Oh,
anyway.
we already did it, so we
Yeah,
wouldn't need it on
I think
20.
I think that's right. I don't think
Yeah.
you need it on,
All right, so I'm gonna remove that.
remove it on 20,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's easy. These are all easy. All right.
But then if that's the case, when do we get rid of 1 and 2? Because we talk about 1 and 2 for final.
But they weren't voted on,
1 was voted
the
on.
form-based voting. Well, we put that as an idea up there.
Okay,
The
I
main
thought-
thing was to investigate the overlay district.
Two cases.
That's what we really voted on, feathering
Made
and
it to the
home-based
Hampshire Supreme
businesses.
Court about curb cuts,
Yeah? Oh,
denied. 2005 and 2016,
denied,
There's
okay.
only been 2 and they were both denied?
denied. That went to the Supreme Court in New Hampshire.
And they were denied there too?
Yeah.
What was denied? I missed that part.
The curb
I
cuts.
found two cases that made it to the Supreme Court about curb cuts, and both
Why
were
are they so
denied.
s- I understand the safety issue of it. Get it, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we never really voted on a strategic plan, it just came out of the research. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so 20 is good, and I'm going to remove number 3, because we already kind of talked about it. All right,
Okay.
next, so 20, we're getting there. All right, so I went back, and I have our charges here. We didn't have charge 1 before, remember? And I
Yeah.
put the word charge in front of everything instead of having it highlighted, right? And so what we did is anything we have up in the top parts, I put here completed, just so we know we completed each of the tasks, okay? Let me just see, the design and surveyed economic model, we didn't change that. We gathered, tallied, right, published. Focus group, right, we included in our research and recommendation sections. The planning board, with this charge 2, we sat with Jay and we went over the new master plan chapter, right, what you had to modify.
Yes.
Charge 3, which is the big one. Advertise, advise the select board and other boards to issue the bylaws, policy, regs, zoning, all of that. We did have a meeting where people looked at their own zoning and reg laws, and nobody really found in the bylaws anything, but I'll mention that in the second bullet. So if we take this whole survey, because the rest, the next 2 are very easy, but if we charges 4 and 5 are easy, but if this is the bulk. So for the planning board, this is what we have, the planning board has to do something, and on the next page, the board of selectmen has to do something, okay? So I'm just taking the funnel, taking the pieces that were supposed to go to the planning board and putting them here, plus anything else that we did in our further, in our research as we were going, okay? So this was Jay's word, concepts and ideas, right? So for the planning board, identified zoning concept ideas. Investigate are you with us there? Yep. Investigate the overlay district for the Charles Bancroft Highway 3A. Feathering in home businesses and businesses. Must develop performance standards for, and you did not like developers and business owners,
We
right?
just put,
What did we put up here? Let me see. Do you remember where that was?
I think we took out.
Just parrot that language that we
Yep.
had
What did I
before.
say on that, though? Let me just find that. Model,
This is a little bit different, but
yeah, because we had developers and you didn't like that, right?
probably just say develop performance standards.
We said various something, right?
Yep, you can probably end it to performance standards.
All right,
Okay.
is that what you want to do it? Okay, you're right, because they can go look at the detail above, right?
Yeah,
What number
that's
is
right.
that?
And
What
that's,
page are we on?
it should mimic what we
22?
did earlier in the document.
All right, so you want me to just remove that line?
No, just the, for developers and business owners, just leave, must develop performance standards.
Must develop performance standards.
We need the must. Can we just put develop?
Or develop performance standards, yeah.
Say develop, just capital D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Must is understood.
Update home business ordinances. That was about reviewing the existing ordinances, meaning the businesses overall, okay?
Yep.
Update business ordinances, review signage. Again, you might look at them and say, there's no more changes coming, we are happy, right? Or you might, I think everything that was in the survey that they said they wanted for businesses can be handled. Because, to be honest, that Route 3A is agricultural too, right? I mean, I think they can handle that.
Yeah.
So as they come to you, if you don't like number 2 saying business ordinances, see existing ordinances, they both say business ordinances, but one just had to do with signs, one had to do
Right.
with licensing, right?
Yeah.
Daycare,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's
Is it
okay to have them separated.
Okay. Investigate form-based zoning, And I keep hearing it's a formula of how many things you can have here, there, whatever, okay?
I think it's fine.
Southern Commercial Zone, I keep calling it zone, district, and area. What should I said Southern Commercial Zone may also benefit from mixed-use housing. We just had that in a
Yeah,
prior slide.
I think
What
we
did say
said
up
district
there?
before, I think I just say district.
Did we
But
say
then it has
district
the
above?
sentence underneath, in the future consider expanding the boundary of the southern commercial area.
What page is the future one? Sorry, I've been looking at this too long. Future is,
Yeah.
yeah, but, so we removed the one from page 20.
Right, because it's on page 19.
Yeah, I'm on page 22, and I'm on number 5.
Yep.
I call it Southern Commercial Zone. Should I call it district?
On page 22?
Yeah.
I
I
would, yeah, I
would.
would use, if you used district before, which we did.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. I like it
You
as
could
a
Say
district.
district.
Okay. District.
You also say commercial
We must have
area.
let that slip last time. All right, so what did we say for 5? Southern Commercial District may also benefit from mixed-use housing. That one, in the future, consider expanding the boundaries, so we're gonna remove that, right? By, yep. Again, I kinda heard it, so I threw it in, all right. Note, regulations will be needed for business types identified on the economic survey and focus group, right? Which, the wineries, the breweries, the
Yep.
restaurants, right? All right, to date. So again, this charge also said, look at the bylaws, policies, and regulations. So to date, no bylaws were identified by the group. And then they're also gonna get this final report. Jay will have this, right? Jeremy will have this, right? The whole planning board. Okay?
And do we want to say, just for, to date bylaws, policies, or regulations, modifications were identified? I think at least from the zoning is because we're regulated by statute, you know what I mean?
Right.
So there's not, I don't want them to think we're just like, oh, everything's fine. You know, our hands are
Yep.
somewhat tied. I don't know if we wanted to just put a qualify in there.
Maybe beyond the scope of
Yeah.
the committee or something like
So
that.
we had like Peter
Yeah, and,
Ames look at recreation, right? Are there any bylaws, any policies, that we needed to know about, right? Conservation. Were there any policies, bylaws, or, yeah, that's what we had everybody in this group go
Right,
back
look
to
at-
there.
right.
But I can see where you would not have to do that.
I mean, we did, I'm just trying to think, because we're saying nothing, and not saying that that's not truthful, but I could probably find something to
Sure.
change. I think all of us could find something to
Right,
change.
right.
So I just think for us to say,
Our committees,
Maybe no specific bylaws, policy, or regulation changes recommended
at this time,
This
yeah, I don't know,
time.
something, because
Yeah, with a
first,
qualifier.
at this time.
yeah, I'm just thinking,
Okay.
like, I could say if I wanted development, well, we
Right,
could do
right.
something to, promote development, or, to
We
get
would
rid of
just
some
have to
things.
then change the zoning law
Right.
to accommodate it.
Because actually writing amendments to the bylaws and policies of different boards and committees is beyond the charge of this committee. It's coming
It
up with
is.
the concepts.
it is, but they were just
Right.
gonna go back to see if there was any conflicts. They didn't seem to find any that conflicted.
Right.
Right.
No.
I think Jason, actually, I will say, he wanted to see the outcome of this before they went back and answered this question.
So
So you
maybe
wanna
just
say at
say,
this time?
no bylaws, policy, or regulation modifications recommended at this time.
So, yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
so just leave it, just get the word identified out and say recommended at this time.
Yeah.
All right, and then the Board of Selectmen, am I on the Board of Selectmen still? I'm on the wrong one.
Page 22.
Yeah.
I'll be getting the same thing.
Yes, this is.
See, page 23. All right, recommendations at this time. I'm not gonna just put it in here. Okay, so let's go back, just to get me back where I was. So this is going to the planning board. We fixed 5. We also talked about the bylaws. That was part of the charge, plus you'll get this report, okay? As far as the Board of Selectmen, again, the funnel, where it said going to the Board of Selectmen, they are gonna create a business directory and do business marketing, right? We'll assign somebody to do that. Recommend, it's not recommend DOT permit. What was it again? We didn't say.
Just grab whatever the language was.
What was it? Gotta find it, because I'll miss it if I don't write it down. Does anybody remember?
It's like
Investigate, was it
Invest-
investigate?
maybe.
Investigate, it says right here.
Okay,
It's on
okay.
page 18. All right, so that's, I'm glad you're helping me sync it up. If not, I'm gonna be doing it later,
Yeah.
right? Investigate. DOT permit appeals process. I can get rid of the colon if that's okay. Create a strategic plan of remaining limited commercial property. Identify zoning concept ideas. So they get the to be determined pieces about expanded southern commercial area, which we changed. It doesn't say expand anymore, right?
Didn't we put the zoning stuff under planning board?
Yes.
Yeah, but this is the to be determined about, New Hampshire DOT, DES.
Okay.
So if you look at the funnel again on
Right.
page, the final funnel, I like the final funnel. The final recommendations on page 19. They get the Board of Selectmen 4, 5, and they also get 6 and 7 about
Okay.
the land. So I'll word it whatever I see here, right?
Yeah.
And that's same as 8 above, so I know that, okay. So we'll make sure they're in sync, all right? Just verify, in sync with 8 above. I know what I mean by that. All right, now let's see if I added anything else here. So we're waiting, so the 102, right? Southern Commercial 102. See, they say Southern Commercial Area here again, so I'm gonna say district, right?
Yes.
All right, all right. Again, mixed-use zoning, yep. Again, they should decide if they want that, but really, I don't know who's gonna decide that. So you might have,
The voters.
well, but I don't know who initiates, hey, I
Oh,
wanna have
planning
mixed
board.
use.
It'd
They
be the
would go
planning
to
board.
you first, and that, yeah.
Yeah, because it's zoning.
Exactly. Yeah, but just, I'll give them a heads up, it may be coming, I don't know. I don't know if it's coming or not, but it just, yeah. But we have no say, the developer or the owner would come in, right?
But do we want to say for the Board of Selectmen, identify zoning concepts? Because that's not Board of Selectmen, that's you.
Which one are you, which one are you
This
looking
is
at?
on page 23,
Which number though?
2, complete it for Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, so we're waiting for the to be determined parts about the water project, right? 1 and
Right,
2.
but-
But number 3, I don't know.
No, I'm looking at, so it says identifies, so we have
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled task, page 23, complete it for Board of Selectmen.
Mm-hmm.
So identify like, 1, 2, 3 for the first one, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But where it says identify zoning concepts and
Yep.
ideas.
Yep. We want to change the name, I mean, they still have to follow through with 1 and 2, right?
Follow up. But, I mean, even if it's not really a task, they could identify
Well,
anything they want, but it's.
I'm just gonna make it, say the land is gonna be a water project, some pipe for another town. Say that happens, that's number 1 or 2, right? Whatever one we're talking about, that's probably number 1. So we really,
So you're talking-
once we know that,
You're talking about the state land.
yeah, so this is, go back to page, just stay with me for a sec, just go back to the final recommendations. Let's see, initial, recommend, so page 19. So the funnel went down from 15 to 7. Okay,
Yeah.
so 4 and 5 you're not questioning, we already talked about that. It's the to be determined, we're just awaiting the follow-up. So the planning board can't do anything if we're still saying, we still have to hear from the state.
Right, but the Board of
Right.
Selectmen don't do anything until the planning
No,
board
we're just
gets
waiting
to their
too.
process.
We're all waiting.
That's what I'm saying. So for the fulfilled task, when we're talking about items for the Board of Selectmen, I'm fine with how it's worded for the planning board, but for the Board of
You
Selectmen,
wanna just say waiting?
on 23, I mean, for their action items, I mean, if you think about it, so the land is available to purchase.
Mhm.
What role does the Board of Selectmen have to do, or what task would they have to do?
They'd probably just say, let people
Well, that,
bring their projects forward, right?
right, so they wouldn't be doing any of these zoning concept and ideas. is
No,
what I'm
no,
trying
they
to-
wouldn't, but that's why I said
Right.
awaiting follow-up, that's why I worded
So maybe,
waiting.
maybe a dumb question for me, so if something goes to the planning board, the planning board approves it, does it then have to go to the select board to be approved?
No, but
Yeah.
right now, we're still waiting on the land, so we don't want anything happening while we're still waiting for answers.
So maybe the title, where the arrow is, isn't identified zoning concepts and
Yeah.
ideas.
What- yeah,
Maybe
would you like?
it is, I mean, I would probably just put, surplus state land.
What would you put? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Surplus state,
surplus.
Continue to
monitor, or,
monitor, investigate, whatever the word is,
so get rid of awaiting follow-up.
surplus state land, and then, no, then under it, it's awaiting follow-up, I think it's okay to say they're waiting for follow-up.
Okay, so you just want the title
It's
to
just
change?
the task isn't identifying zoning concepts.
sorry, so we don't want to say identified, we
Right.
just want to say, what do you want to say for that title then?
That's where I'm struggling a little bit
Oh,
with it,
okay.
but I'm thinking, continue to investigate
And then inform all
surplus
the
state
boards.
land.
Or, yeah, or explore possibilities.
Continue to investigate, and then they have to tell you the findings, right?
Potentially available state land.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
So continue to investigate, what'd you say, potential,
Available.
Potentially
state-owned land.
available state land.
potentially
That's good.
available.
Right.
Right, so just change the title to now be, continue to investigate potentially available state land. Okay, easy to do. All of these are just small edits.
Yeah.
These are all pretty minor, okay. And I like, that's a good catch, because they're not, they don't have the power, and
Yeah,
they
it's not
shouldn't
their
be
role.
doing that anyway.
Right.
All right, that's your role there. All right, then, so, again, I'll change it to no bylaws, do they, recommended at
Right,
this time,
right.
just so they know.
What did we say again? Continue? Was that what we said?
For the bylaws?
No, for the second one where you took out identified.
Oh,
what's the language?
continue to investigate potentially available state land.
Do we want to say monitor instead of continue to investigate?
Yeah, monitor's probably a
Sure.
better word.
That works for me. But once they find out, they still have to tell you. They can't find out and not tell you, because you're gonna have people coming in front of you, right?
Well,
But
But
yeah,
they're not
but
the owners, so.
there's
they're
actually a
able
whole
to-
process
Yeah,
that the state will go
exactly.
through with state land. They'll
Just
notify the town,
yeah.
right, so it's,
Oh, public hearing, oh, it's gonna be fun. And then they're not the owners, they're not gonna submit plans anyway.
right. I mean, the
All right.
town will actually have an opportunity to acquire that land if they wish.
Yep, that is true.
Or have it be gifted to us.
Yes.
That's unlikely.
It's not off the table.
It could happen.
Be possible. Yeah, be possible. Or we could tax what's going over there.
Yes, should happen.
All right. If it goes over there, I don't know. All right, so we're done with 1 and 2? All right, so that's so we're on charge 4, okay? So 1 and 2 are for charge 3. All right, we're on page 24, man. He's hanging in there with us. All right, so this one was advocate for state or federal grants, incentives, or improvement regulations that help advance the town's priorities. So what has been completed is the Economic Development Committee, through town staff, reviewed grants and other financing options available to assist with improving regulations for the town. Specifically, the Economic Development Committee reviewed grant opportunities with New Hampshire Housing, NHBEA, RSA 79E, et cetera. Ongoing, what we're doing is exploring opportunities to partner with our state and federal agencies. Okay? We're in process identifying and execute plans for improving water and energy resources. Okay? All right, so that's what
That's
we're
not
looking at for
something we have
grants.
done though, right? That's just
That's
sort
what
of-
the town is.
That's,
yeah.
that's on the town.
Right, so ongoing.
Then charge 5, the final charge was make recommendations to streamline permitting, licensing, and other regulatory functions. So we completed 3, subdivision and site plan operational flow chart was introduced. Town hall in-house permit process, technical review committee established.
Was that established under?
Yeah,
the
it was kind of
planning
going on
board's-
before.
But is it a part of the town's land use regulations, or is that something somebody just made up?
No, they just do it
It's just an
internal to the town
internal
hall. Yeah.
Staff thing.
Something that somebody
I
made
know,
up.
but other towns that I look at, they have it in their design review regulations, so,
That hasn't happened.
but I think it should.
It could, but it hasn't happened
So
yet.
should I
Seems
make-
duplicative to me, but
What, to,
Oh, it's
to have-
very helpful when you have the fire department, you know what I mean, to get them all in the
But, I
same
mean,
room. and they-
but they shouldn't be a decision maker. It's not their purview to make a decision on
No.
that.
They do get asked questions, yeah.
but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's appropriate necessarily for the town to create it on its own if it's not part of the town's development regulations. So if it's gonna exist, I think it should exist under
Officially.
officially via the town's land use regulations, so it says what their charges, what they do.
I agree.
Who's part of the committee. I've seen, in other municipalities, just say, the technical review committee is gonna consist of, a representative from the fire department, a representative from Conscom,
And I think they've sort of done that, but it hasn't been made official,
And that, for me,
which somebody could challenge, I suppose.
well, they don't have any But, yeah, I mean, I think it's, the prudent approach is to have it part of our land, my opinion is to have it part of the land use regulations.
And it could
I agree.
happen.
That is a very good point. Do you want to put it as investigate, or what do you want to do? I mean,
I-
put
I don't think it needs to be
completed,
on
you're
here, I
saying.
just think it
No,
needs to be a
here.
conversation with the
So
select
so
board.
that's, should that be?
I see.
No, I mean, right now, this is just saying what was completed, and that's one of the things that's been completed.
That might be a recommendation that planning
Do you want me to
makes
say,
to the select board to make that official.
who's
That
going
would
to do
be my
that,
opinion.
planning, or you want this committee to do it?
No, I mean, the question of adopting that as a regulation wasn't discussed by the Economic Development
Right,
Committee, so I don't think you need to address that here at all.
Okay, it was not. It was, but she just put down what they were trying to do internally to help developers or business owners or, but I see your point. So how do we want to bring this to somebody's attention?
I wouldn't. I mean, I think we're just focused on the report
Yeah.
from the committee. That's a separate issue. It's already been brought to the planning board, so it's up to the planning board to decide whether they want to incorporate it in their regs. I don't think we should be interjecting something here that was not discussed by the committee.
Did they know they could do that? I don't know if they knew they could.
I don't know, I'm
You
just
mean-
saying,
Yeah, I
this
didn't
is the final report of the Economic Development
Right.
Committee, and they didn't discuss that issue, so I
Meaning
don't
the
see.
Economic Development Committee didn't discuss.
Correct.
Putting it
Right.
as part of,
Right.
so it shouldn't be completed then. I mean, it should, I think, when it says make recommendations, nobody recommended in a technical review committee. I think
It may have been brought up, but I'm saying, this is simply things that have occurred. I'm saying recommending that the planning board take a further action wasn't something that the committee recommended.
Agreed. So the way it's worded though on page 24, where it says Town Hall in-house permit process technical review committee completed, I don't know if that adequately reflects what this committee's.
Right, because we didn't create that was
It's-
created.
In her mind, it's completed. They have this
Oh,
group,
right.
they do meet, right?
But it is, I mean, there were committee meetings I didn't go to, so if that was discussed at the committee, fine. If it wasn't,
It
then
was
I
not
wouldn't,
discussed at the committee.
then I wouldn't put it in
Briefly
there.
mentioned that there was an email handout, right? An email
Yeah.
to
I
look
think
at.
it was talking about, this is what we've done,
Yeah.
Then maybe we should take it out in its entirety.
because it's
Yeah,
not
I
completed.
would take it out.
Yeah.
But this she thought was important because it's expediting.
Well, right, but this is the final report of the Economic Development Committee,
Right.
so there's a lot of good things that have happened in the town, but if the committee didn't discuss it, I don't know that it makes sense to put it in the committee's
Make
final report.
recommendations. So, all right, but they did see it last week and they did not pull it either.
I mean, I don't feel
Been
strongly on
Was
it.
it on this? It had been here. All right, so it's completed from the town admin's mind because they did do it
It is completed.
and it is completed, but the question is, do you want to take it to the
I-
land use level, right, to make it more formal?
Well, the question is
Because
whether or
it's-
not the committee, that this was a committee recommendation.
We can put a note that,
I don't know.
we can put a note here that that could be followed up by somebody to make it land use.
I mean, I don't remember there being an in-depth discussion of how this was streamlining anything. If anything, I think people could potentially view it as being a hindrance, because it's another level of governmental review. So I would be inclined to remove it.
It was not part of our, I mean, it was, making recommendations was part of the charge, but that's not a recommendation that this committee came up with. That was something that the town administrator, fire, police, building inspector did on their own and then brought forward to the board, to the select board.
Do you want to put they did on their own but wasn't recommended by the committee?
I don't think it should be there at all.
Okay.
I think I
You
agree
don't
with
think it
Jay.
should be there either?
I wouldn't put it.
I just said take it out.
Okay. Next. Completed.
Not that we don't want something that says completed on our list.
Oh, no, we got a second one, another one completed. Supplemental design designs, design guidelines for mixed-use village development alternative and net positive report. That has been done. All right, in process, again, we didn't talk about this. MyGov permitting software enhancements allow our town building inspector to get permits better, faster by using this software. So, again, I think it's being looked at from what's being done internally in the town hall today for improvements, but did we talk about that? I mean, we only talked about it really here, right, on these reports.
I don't think we talked
No,
about,
we didn't talk about it
about
ourselves.
getting this
It was
software,
on
not
the
that
prior
it's,
reports.
not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's the same as the
Okay,
technical review committee. If this group didn't discuss it and recommend it, then
Yep.
it shouldn't be something that we
Mhm.
recommend.
okay. Again,
Not saying it's a bad thing, I just don't think it was part of what we did.
Okay, are you on board with that?
Yep.
You want to remove it?
Well, I don't remember the discussion, so if people have a different memory of that, then.
Okay, I'm just gonna put, we did not discuss formally, right, as a committee.
Right.
Okay, removing is very easy.
Backspace.
Next, all right, same, I added I don't know if this is repetitive again, but the new DOT, that, appeals process. New and investigate in the front.
Yep.
And I do remember that I brought this up as far as having meetings with the Board of Selectmen and our state reps and state senator about legislative changes that could be done, or what the town's desires are. And I think that would be really helpful for the town to have those type of meetings with our state reps and our state senator to say, hey, look, here's the new legislative session.
Oh, yeah.
What are the issues facing Litchfield?
Yep.
Are there things that I can introduce on behalf of the town?
It's a very good idea.
And it's not just for what we're doing, it's for everything for the
Everybody.
town.
Oh, yeah,
And
but I
from
mean,
the
I think the
Pushing.
Board of Selectmen, I mean, coming from the town
Yeah.
that you represent, when I was a state rep, I remember I met with like the Hudson Chief of Police, I would meet with different people, be like, hey, look, anything coming up that you think we should attack, or we should
Yeah.
take a look at, or something you feel that, needs to be addressed. So I think having the Board of Selectmen have those open and public meetings with our delegation, I think would be really beneficial. I did mention it.
No, that's true. All right, so I'm gonna strike number 2 and number 4. And I will change 5 to say investigate DOT permit. Keep it in sync with the other ones, right?
And then add in about having the meetings with
Did we discuss it in this meeting here? Or did you come to the Board of Selectmen and you?
No, we
We-
discussed it in this meeting.
we discussed
Not
it.
this meeting, but this.
All right, so what do I want to write? Where do you want it completed or you want it in process?
No, just like a new request.
right,
I think it
so
would be
6.
encourage Board of Selectmen.
All right,
to
let me just get this up. Hold on. Encourage Board of Selectmen.
To meet regularly with our state and federal elected officials.
State. Okay,
I mean, you could add to discuss pending legislation or pending concerns, issues.
is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
All right, so that'll be 6, a new request. All right, anybody else think of anything? Oh, I mean, I'm modifying what was there last week, right?
Right.
All right, it's page 25. The
Mission
last-
fulfilled.
We're almost at the end where we say thank you. If you could, because I need another set of eyes. You know when you look at it too long, you think.
Yes.
All right, just so I know, I took out the yellow, okay, so it now says slide 6, 7, 21. So you can, if they just go to the summary, they can go right to the page they want, right?
Yeah.
Let's just double check this.
Handy.
I'm gonna look at the new report too. So economic survey, I said it's on page 6, which it is in the middle of the page, it's economic survey data collection model. I wanna make sure we all see it. I'll just read the slide numbers. So for
6,
charge
7.
1, it
6,
should be on
7,
page
and 21.
6 for the economic
Yep.
survey. Page 7 had the focus group, right? And page 21, as it came down through the funnel, probably, I don't know what it did or didn't. I guess I just mentioned it here on 21. Okay, so we see everywhere they go, they can see, right, about that. We good with that one? Number 2, recommendations to the planning board and board of selectmen. I just said slides 15, I don't know if it is just 15. All right, we got through all of our research, so 15 through 21. This is Planning Board and Board of Selectmen. Why did I say 15? And am I in an old report here? I might have an old version here.
I think
What's
so.
page 15 and 21?
It says, reviewed and made recommendations to
So
chapter
again,
6.
I gave you my copy, so I have an old one. So I should be looking at yours.
Hey, you want to look at mine?
Now, we're gonna keep the, all right, so 15.
Yep.
That was made recommendations to, that was, what was this one? Key research continued. So that was for the Economic Development Plan, which is Planning Board, right? Yeah,
But that was for, because we wanted to talk about chapter
Yeah.
6, so 15, and this
Yeah.
is chapter 6.
yeah,
So that's right.
yeah, but there should still be more. What's 21?
But, yep, 21.
I think it's really this page. I think it's really a different page.
Yeah, it's a few pages.
Yeah. I'm
that
missing
have
a
the
page.
recommendations, because all the funnel stuff
Yeah.
has recommendations on it.
So we need it in here. It's this final one. I'll just go to final, right? They don't, where's 21? Yeah, it's this one, right? 19? Who gets what, right? Board of Selectmen, Planning Board? So it's really 19, right? You want it- Unless you want the funnel. 19 is the final,
Okay.
when it went from 15 to 7. We could do if they want the initial findings too. I just don't know if that would confuse them.
I think the final ones are fine.
All right, the final one is good, right? Where's 15? So it's really this one too, right? It would be 15, excuse me, it'd be page 19, because we say whether it goes to Board of Selectmen or Planning Board, right?
Okay.
Everybody on good page 19?
I'm sorry, are you on number 2?
I'm on
page
charge 2. We did have 15, which is, page 15 was good, because
Yep.
that told about the master plan, right?
Yep.
Page 19 is the funnel, we came down to the final 7. I'm on page 19. You can
Yep.
see it goes to Board of Selectmen.
Yep.
Oh, I'm waiting for Peter to come
But
in.
it says, on chart number 2, it says 15 and 21.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that.
Okay.
I'm fixing it on my bad copy, but I know what I mean. So it's gonna be 15, 19, right?
Yep.
Everybody see 19? I'm just
Yep.
waiting for Peter to catch up there.
Yep,
All right, so that we split it up there, plus the to be determined. And up, and then we had the future recommendations also, on page 20, right?
Yes.
And did we put anything else here? Just say, we have that, right?
Yeah, we did have
Yeah,
21 there.
because charge 2, I'm wrong. I was right. Page 15, the charge was to update the master plan.
Yeah, I thought we were keeping 15.
Yeah, so keep 15, but I
Yeah,
don't think we
add
need 19
19.
and 20. Charge 2 is just about master plan.
Okay, right.
So
fine.
that's 15 and 21.
That's what
21.
you had.
So I had,
Okay.
I was
You're good.
right.
You're
Oh
good.
my God, that's why I need you guys here. All right. Next one, that's the big one. All right.
12, 22, 23.
You okay with that one?
Yep.
Because that was just about the master plan. Number 3 is the big one. Why don't we do 4 and 5? They're easy. Look at 4 and 5. Slide 24, the prior page.
It's easy.
That's easy. Okay. It just says see slide 24, right?
Those
I'll
two.
let Laura catch up.
Yeah.
So where were we on that last one?
Page,
I just
slide
said see slide
24.
24
That's
for 4
still
and 5, which is right there, right?
Yep.
All right, so that one's easy. So let's get the big one out of the way. Number 3, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
22,
So number
23.
3 said, board and other town boards, right? Because we didn't know at that time if there'd be other boards that had to be involved, right? With the final changes, all right? Bylaws, policies, regulations, zoning, to maintain the consistency. I had page 12. What's on 12?
Potential new town ordinance explored.
Okay, so the question here, oh, I'm not waiting for Laura to get there. 12, so yeah, so that whole page 12 really is a summary of everything we did, right? With the feathering, the overlay
Yep.
district, the historic district, right?
So I think that's accurate as well.
So 12 is good, then did I say, and then now, if I'm just gonna go, before we go to 22, all the rest of it was our other research, right? Other research, filling in all this numbers, right? All right, this again, it's just still the research. I guess they could go to final. I said 22?
Yep, and that, it starts
Say
at
for
charge
22,
number 3, so
23.
that's
What's
all
22?
charge.
I don't know if we
22
want to
and 23
mention
are all
this one
charged.
here.
Yeah.
What's
I think that's right.
22?
It's charge 3.
So that's really from the funnel.
Yeah.
So do you want that to be the write-ups? Is that right? 22, 23?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the funnel, the final funnel.
Yes.
All right, are we good with that page then?
Well,
And I took out the highlighted, it was yellow, I removed the yellow. You see yellow there for the slide numbers there. All right, the last page. Eee. I don't think there's much here. All right, so that is so before we go 25, that's missions fulfilled. We cross-referenced everything. Next, last page.
Appendices.
All right, economic survey will be there so people can see it. The survey results,
Yes.
the focus group ideas,
Yes.
okay? The town hall permit process, I don't know.
We're gonna take that
gonna
out.
take that out,
Take
right?
that out, yeah.
Site plan, subdivision and site plan operational flow chart, what is that? Is that you?
That's actually a flow chart that Kim developed.
Yep, for the TRC.
So do we need that if we didn't formally talk about it?
I don't know if it was talked about or not.
Does anybody else remember the subdivision operational flow chart?
I think I was at a planning board meeting when they were talking about it. I don't remember talking about it here, but that could just be bad memory.
Do you still want to see, we don't want an appendix if they don't see them, right? Or we can put a note here to see other items such as visit, well, let me just cross those out for the moment, but if you go down below those bullets, it says for detailed discussions, key research and appendix item above, please visit the Economic Development Committee portal, right? That'll be
Yeah,
there.
I mean, I go back to the point of if it was something that was discussed by the committee,
Right.
okay, if not, because the survey results and the focus group ideas are really what informed the whole process, and those are definitely important.
So if we're taking out the
So I'm
subdivision
gonna
flow
take
chart, then we would take it out here, but I thought we left it in on page 24, that's in there.
It is left in on 24.
Let me
Right,
go to
so
24.
either we take it out both places, or we
Right.
keep it.
I don't remember talking about it, to
And
be
I just
honest.
don't know if it was talked about when I was
Page
here.
24,
I remember seeing it, so
So it may well have been talked about.
you do remember it then?
well, I
See the
remember, because I
flow chart.
remember saying to Kim, hey, I never saw it. Like when she was talking about it, she's like, oh, we did this, and it went through all the committees, I'm like, no, I never
Okay,
saw
so
it.
I don't remember seeing it, and I don't
Okay,
remember.
then we can take it out,
Been
but
here?
I do remember
You got rid of
having
one
a
of our
conversation
completed
with her.
items. You got rid of two of our completed items.
No, I definitely remember her.
Right, but the first three are the kinds of things that people might want to look at because it's referenced as informing the whole process, so I could see people.
Anything else we
I
need in there?
find personally the survey results very interesting.
Oh, I
So-
do too, and I think that's the crux of everything
the
that
crux
we
of
did.
everything. I
I
think
mean,
that's
that's, I
exactly
think
right.
is the most important, is the survey and those results.
And they were not a surprise.
Respectfully submitted by the Litchfield, New Hampshire, because every time you put in Litchfield, you get Connecticut. Litchfield, New
You
Hampshire
always have to
Economic.
add NH.
So what do you think? Are we happy with, if I say approve as amended, and you guys want to see one more copy? Marion, just so you know, I read the report and it's much more clear. I like the summary statement, good for someone who wasn't involved in the process. I vote to approve as presented, but we are making some mods, I don't know. I think I read that earlier anyway, but, so what do you want to do? Do you want to approve as amended? Do you want to see, I mean, they're pretty small edits.
I mean, I'm not voting, but I'm happy with it as amended.
Does anyone
Right.
want to see
So-
it before we vote, or what do you want to do? I can send you a before and after. You got
Yeah.
you have 1, 2, and 3 now, but,
I'm just worried about the quorum for such a big vote. I just want to
yeah,
make
so
sure we
I
have.
want to say so let's look at the bylaw. Let me just Google the bylaws. They're not on, I don't see them on the portal. Maybe they're hidden somewhere
Are
else.
the bylaws?
I didn't see them on the portal either, but I'm not,
Yes, yeah.
I'm not the best at
Let
finding
me just see if
stuff.
they're somewhere out there, Renegade. Recreational bylaws,
I don't remember bylaws for this committee.
yeah. You have a good memory. I'm just in way too many meetings to remember any of this. It's like, Bing, not so great. Let's go to,
It's not in the portal?
I didn't.
I could not find it in the portal.
But who created those bylaws? That takes some time to create bylaws.
Maybe not. But we vote, so I would think we'd have to have them.
I
I
don't
think,
think
I
so.
Or a subcommittee, right?
But
So
I
it's a-
think it's governed by just a basic quorum, and I don't think we have a quorum tonight. That's my concern.
Right, because there were 7 people, I think. It's usually 50%.
So
plus
remember,
one.
So Jay, you're not a voting member, is that correct?
I do not believe I am,
So if you're not, then we have one,
although we don't have bylaws, so.
so we're missing Peter,
Am I or
Ames,
am I not?
Jason Brennan,
Marion.
Marion Colby, and Jeremy.
Right, so that's 4
So
that
we're
are
missing
missing.
4.
So I think there were 7 on the committee.
There's 7 on the committee?
So four, I would think four would be the quorum.
4 would be a quorum.
So if I can vote, then we have a quorum.
But I don't know that have you voted in the past?
Got a
I don't
Heritage
think we've had any
Commission.
votes.
Well, we voted that
Who
night,
voted on
but
all
we
those
had
other-
5, so we knew we
Right.
were covered, right?
Covered.
Maybe we don't have one. What happens if we don't I don't see one being pulled up. I even going on to the wide range, internet.
Well, I don't think we have bylaws. I'd be
I don't think we
surprised
do
if we
either.
had
So what's the
bylaws.
default if you don't? It has to have a majority?
I think it's just a basic quorum of the members.
Okay, so we're in the, what happened last year's tailspin. It's Thanksgiving Eve, Christmas. Our days fall on, and I don't mind a special meeting if people are up for that, just to get in here and do it.
So you're
Even if
saying-
we could do it online, kind of a thing.
Are
You're
we allowed
saying
to
we
do it?
have 7 members?
I see, huh?
Yeah, I think it's.
We have Peter Ames, Jason
Right.
Brennan, Marion Colby, and Jeremy.
So,
Marion's our rep, right, for the community? No, is she
She's
doing
a
Heritage?
Heritage
Is she
rep?
doing Heritage?
She's
We had-
Heritage.
We had,
She's heard it, but
And
I think
Connie's
she's.
not
she's a
Bonnie's not
voting
here,
member.
right?
yeah, she's a voting member.
Yeah, so my understanding is it's just a simple majority for a quorum.
I'm
A
going-
simple majority would
Going
be
to the
4,
calendar.
provided you are not a voter. If you're a voting member,
I don't know. Because we don't have bylaws.
And also Kim Kleiner usually comes here as well, but I don't know if
Doesn't
she
vote.
would vote. I know she doesn't vote, but
I mean, my take would be that Kim is not a voting member
Yep.
and Jay would not be a voting member. That would be my
that would
my
be
take.
mine too.
How I would interpret it. So I would think we have our 7 members, and we only have 3 of us present, so we don't have a.
So if we can make the change, can we do a meeting that is just to motion moving it forward? And could we do that as we'd have to post a meeting, obviously, but then we wouldn't have to be in person, it could all be done over Zoom or whatever, right? As long as we make it public?
Roll call, how does that, do you have that majority in
Well,
the
it's a
room?
committee created by the town.
Yeah, I would.
Let me just
feel
get
like
the
you have to-
calendar
I
out.
personally would want in
In person?
person.
I think you want to have an in-person quorum.
Okay.
Right.
But could we do a special day? Because this is the tough thing. Everybody has meetings. It's budget season too, right?
So maybe
Let me get the
make
calendar.
the corrections, send them out to everybody, and this might be a doodle poll situation to just see if,
When we can meet formally? If
Fine.
you want the formal.
because if you do a doodle poll.
That's fine with me.
Well, I mean, I just don't. I think legally we have to.
We don't want somebody to come back and
Right.
push on it.
So, but if we do a
Let's get
doodle
the
poll,
calendar.
it might be the easiest way to find a day where we can get a quorum. Because it's always, that way we could coordinate with Kim Kleiner, because there's always the other issue of, can we find a place to meet? Making sure there isn't another committee meeting that night. There's always a kind of finding the available dates, and then maybe go out to everybody and say,
Right.
what works.
Finding a room.
Right.
All right.
But again, if it all went well, it could be a 15-minute,
It could be a quick meeting.
Maybe
yeah.
a 2-minute meeting.
right?
Right.
I didn't think we did anything controversial today.
No.
We've already seen it already once,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I don't see a
It's
showstopper
just
coming.
a numbers thing.
I just think it's a formality. I mean,
Yeah,
if we're
I
gonna do
agree.
the final vote on our report, I think it needs to be done.
Right.
with the-
I agree.
Then tell everybody to come dressed nice and we can do a group photo.
Right.
And then you can put it on the cover.
Take a look at November on the town calendar. It's fully booked except Fridays. I'm up for a Friday to get this done.
It's fully booked. Of
It's
course it is.
fully, every day has a
Oh, yeah,
meeting.
because it's all budget stuff?
Oh, it's all budget and a lot of public hearing, right, for changes.
But even if
Except
we
for
did like a
Fridays.
half an hour before one of those meetings,
Mm-hmm.
it
Right, that's
literally,
right.
and especially if people are going to some of those meetings.
It's a really good
Right.
point. Right.
An easier ask for a special meeting
Yeah.
than others.
So the cable's already there. Can you have a
Yeah,
meeting
yeah.
inside a meeting?
That's a really good idea.
I
Like,
don't know, can
do
you
it
do
half
that?
an hour before a meeting where committee members are
There
going to
is
be
a
present.
meeting on November 26th.
All right, I'm in November. Yeah,
What,
but
this
that's the
for-
night before Thanksgiving. Is that night, I'm not, again, I'm,
Oh, that's.
that's why we got in this tailspin last time.
Yeah,
That's Thanksgiving week?
That's a hot ass.
That's going to guarantee that you don't have a quorum.
I'm gonna be in Texas that week.
Well, we could still,
I like the idea of,
an impromptu, not
look at a Board of Selectmen meeting, a
Or-
planning board meeting, whatever.
Right, because there's
and-
time, because the only one that starts early are the FIC starts at 5:30 and the school board starts at 5:30. Everybody else starts at 6:30 or 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we set it
Yeah.
at 7.
So we
just
just gotta
set
make
a
sure
half hour
people can
earlier.
get here. We have to make sure, their work schedules that they can get here.
Well, that's why I think, work with, Kim Kleiner, I think you, look for a half an hour before one of these meetings, and then we can do a poll of people to see who can make it, and then
especially-
buffer yourself, pick a day that at least 5 people can make, just in case.
Okay. We will do that.
And that will commit, signed in
Alright.
blood that they will show up, so we
Well,
don't
and
have to
I
do it.
think, when you send out the email, be like, look, we need this quorum for the final vote, so please confirm your attendance.
Yeah.
I confirm attendance for the zoning folks, usually before my meeting. 'cause we don't-
I have a question. If we dialed Marion right now, she didn't hear the changes, so she can't do it.
Right, she didn't participate in the meeting.
Yeah, I wouldn't do any of that.
Yeah.
I
Because she
think
liked
that's-
what she saw, but we made changes. Because she
Yes.
said I'd go with it.
I mean, that's right. I think the safest bet is to just
Okay.
find another date and
Yeah, because
let
that's
everybody
Christmas
know it'll be
Eve.
short. We just need a blessing. Hopefully.
I'm just gonna go into
Enough
just,
time to,
what month is this? December. Yeah.
yeah, we want to get this.
Thursday's Christmas.
I mean, if we
Well,
could-
Wednesday's Christmas Eve,
we
rather.
could- I would think we could do a meeting in November.
I do
don't
too.
want
All right.
to
I
do
won't
that.
change this till the weekend. I just can't get to it with, all
That's, of
Yeah.
course.
right, if I get it out, give me a day. You'll have 1, 2, and 3. You just really need 3, right? But I'll do it because the people who weren't here might want to see the delta, right? All right. Let me get it out as soon as I can so we can get this done. I can't see
All right.
why we can't get it done in November unless people are just so committed here that they're at another
No,
meeting.
I
but-
know, I'll have time before budget meetings and stuff like that, and school
Okay.
meetings. Although,
How will you do
again,
it?
the school starts at 5:30.
I will, I'll get here.
You get it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
So what do you
pretty much.
think? Is it okay? Is it gonna
Yeah,
pass muster?
absolutely.
Is it gonna
It's a
pass
lot of
muster?
work.
You're good?
I
Okay.
think so.
No, so just so I know, so once it's done, does it go in front of the, Board of Selectmen
Yeah.
where we talk about it?
We could
Or
probably.
you talk about it?
Yeah, we'll probably do a presentation, right? I would think the planning board would want it too, but,
Yeah, but I think one presentation is good, and everybody else can get the report, and they can watch the presentation
well,
or
they can
come.
join if they want. Do you
Right.
wanna be there?
I'd like to be there. Yeah, I think it's,
And it'll be televised, and there'll be a
We'll give them
recording.
extra
so-
time to read it.
Mhm.
It's kinda- At least it's not boring.
It's not a hard read.
It's not a hard read. And that's the hard read. No,
Yeah,
that we did.
but this
That's
this
everything
isn't a
everybody
hard
here
read.
did. That's pretty good. All right. Okay, so, yeah, let's find out, let's approve it. I won't send it to the Board of Selectmen yet, because it's still until it's officially, right,
Yeah.
voted on.
Yeah.
And then they can get that. All right. Okay. So I have a second public hearing. Is there any other discussion though on that? Is everyone happy the way it looks once the
Yep.
mods, the
Yep.
lot
I
less
just want to
mod?
thank Kim, I know you put a lot of
Yeah.
time into it,
Yeah.
and Jay.
That's
So
okay.
thank you both for,
But Kim especially, a lot of work.
and I know Kim Kleiner did too. So
Yes.
you
Yes,
guys need
indeed.
an extra thank you for all of
Well,
that.
thank you to everybody who did
So,
this too, because this took a while to do, but it's complicated, I believe. And I always say, the patient was on the table in 2002, it's not coming back for another 20 years unless something big happens to the town, right?
Fair.
I don't think we would look at it again, right? So you can get a master
My
plan
lifetime.
out of this.
Yeah, I think that's a
and
next
ordinances
critical step.
hopefully start coming out of this, right?
That's right.
So I think it was worth that.
Yeah,
I
the
thank
master
everybody
plan
too.
will
Everyone had
come next,
expertise, right?
and I'm sure the timing will be such that, for 2027 town meeting, maybe we'll be looking at something.
All right. Any other items? I like number 3. Did you see in the portal? Nothing. We're done with the nothing. All right, second public comment? Matt, any comment? No? It's quiet over there? No public? All right, I open up the public comment at 8:42, and we're closing it at 8:43. We'll just be nice about it. All right. All right. Any other business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you watching.